Hopefully this works. Fucking amount of effort I've put into this already. Everything's blurry. Nothing looks right. I can't tell if the fucking microphone is working at all. Jesus Christ. Mute. No, what's this? The last time I streamed was many years ago, and the UI has unfortunately changed many times since then. I don't know. Is this, if anyone, no one's going to watch this. Who am I kidding? If anyone can hear me, let me know now. That would be incredible. Because there's no, if I go to options, maybe there's a feedback option. Overlay. No, I don't want to overlay. Engage with your audience. Oh, you can hear me. Do I sound all right? Because I said I was going to do this, and then I went to get all my old equipment, but it's so antiquated. It's all XLR cables, and I haven't got anything to plug the fucking XLR into a computer. So I had to go. Today I'm like, if I don't do it, I'm not going to do it. So I rushed out and bought it like a Razer microphone and a camera, because the camera didn't work either. So if you can hear me good and see me well, let me know. Otherwise, we're fucked. Because there's no option, well, at least that I can see anyway, to like put headphones on and listen to oneself. Or maybe there is, I don't know. This has changed. I didn't even get a preview of what I looked like before I went live on this thing, so hopefully I look all right. Look like shit. I can look at myself, fucking hell. The years have not been kind. But hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this. I never thought I'd say those words ever again, for the few of you that are here and will continue to be here, hopefully. 2026, why not, you know? Red Dead Redemption 2 inspired facial hair. Yes, definitely. Can someone please just verify that I'm loud enough? Because there's a volume meter on here, but it's like got 10 different circles, and I'm feeling like one. And it's giving me stress that you can't hear me properly. And then after that, I'll shut up about the quality of this. I'm loud enough. Okay, sweet. All right, thank you very much. It's weird. You leave these things for, you know, a decade almost, and you see names, and I remember a bunch of the names, which is scary enough. It's interesting. The more things change, the more they stay the same, I suppose. Sorry about the angle as well. I've got this chair I'm on is broken, so I'm sitting down a lot than I should be. So you can see the top of my head and too much of the background for my liking, but here we are. Please tell me more videos are coming. Maybe. I'm thinking about it. I don't know why, but all of a sudden I've got this urge now to not, is reignite the correct word I want to use? Maybe it is, to reignite this one more time, just for old time's sake. I don't know why. No idea why. But what made me leave? That's a good question. And something I think, it wasn't an active choice. I think if some people looked at the YouTube thing as a job, I never did. So when it became not fun for me anymore, that was when I planned to step away. And some people you can see leave YouTube and they have like, this is my last video, you know, like a Tom Scott. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he did that, and that's all well and good. But for me, it was like, it just became work to play games and then to talk about them. And it was one of those things where it's like, well, I can't be bothered today, I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow came and you'd be like, oh, I don't really feel like making a video today, I'll do it the next day. And then I think that just keeps happening to the point where the activity of it just is so far in the back of your mind that you can't even be bothered anymore, and it goes away, if that makes any sense. So to do it would be just utter effort, and it just became easier and easier to not do it than it did to ever do it again. And it's a certain sadness because, I mean, you know, don't have a million people that have ever watched me, but it's a certain sadness that that's the way in which I left it, to me anyway. But yeah, nothing really made me leave. It just stopped being fun, I suppose, if that makes sense. And I think was left for my own thing was left. There was a paradigm shift, and you can see it now. But when 6-7 years ago, everyone went from making kind of long form YouTube, well, not long form, but longer YouTube videos. People moved away from that to live streaming, and I hate live streaming. I like this kind of live streaming. Don't get me wrong. I question it. I thrive with this. This is good. But when I play games, that's like my time. And I'm not very good at games either. So to live stream them would be boring as fuck. And I just didn't want to do it. So that I got left behind there from my own choices. Then the paradigm has kind of shifted into really short, overproduced content, like your 30-second reels. And now I think we're paradigm shifting again, I think back into the long kind of format with podcasts or vodcasts, whatever you want to call it. I think people are kind of sick now of the 30-second reels, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe, we're back in the long form format, hopefully, because that's always the way that I have done stuff and the way that I enjoy consuming that kind of content as well, if that makes sense. Do I regret leaving? Somewhat, I think. But again, the longer you left it, the easier it is, if that makes sense. Because it's hard. I mean, I started when I was, 14, 15? And it's hard to, gaming is my hobby. That is my passion. And to talk about, to make that, what's the word I'm looking for? To not only play the game, but then to put the effort into talking about it, you kind of get burnt out and you're like, I don't want to talk about it. You have to look at it in a review sense, have an opinion on stuff. And sometimes you're like, oh, fuck, okay, let's formulate an opinion on this thing that I don't really have so I can push the shit out there, if that makes any sense. And not only that, but I don't like the YouTube, the way that the platform has moved on was that bored me. Like, why have we got to say unalive instead of killed and all this shit? I don't like any of that. That, not a big thing, but it's an annoying thing the more you think about it. But I think more the sadness is the people that you have access to, if that makes sense. Like, again, I still see usernames that I remember, this long gone, which is crazy. So that was a bit of a rant on the past, on why I've not been here for the past 6 years. But you do have those moments. It's like, oh, I can't wait. I'll do a video, blah, blah, blah. And you just kind of shadow drop it. But I'm like, I can't even bother to do that. But yeah, it's hard to. And then not only that, I promise I'll stop this tangent soon. But you leave it. So say you do a YouTube channel like I do about video games. You leave it for 6 months. The video game industry has changed so much, and you have played so much and experienced so much that to even try and catch up in 6 months is insane. But to do it after a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, like I haven't talked about Witcher 3, I haven't talked about God of War, and now even thinking now of the video games that are immaculate, it's hard to even think about for the past 6-7 years. Granted, compared to when I was very active, they are few and far between. I bet you love Fortnite. I don't love Fortnite. I'm sorry to say. I'm too old. I don't get it. Where are we up to? Sorry if I've missed a question. I am trying. This is a very new interface for me. Kieran, what are your thoughts on Grand Theft Auto 6 updates, bit of mess? So does the absence of Danhausen make it worrying, or this be the greatest game of our generation? Good question. Grand Theft Auto is one of those things that I'll have an opinion on it when I have it in my hand. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely incredible. So Red Dead Redemption 2, there's a game I haven't even spoke about. There's all these games. Anyway, but no, I'm sure it'll be incredible. It does concern me that one of the brothers left. And I've watched his interviews with who was it? Was it Max? I don't know his name. Max Friedman, I think. And you could tell that while it was a great interview, don't get me wrong, but he was asking broader questions, whereas I would want to zero in on like, why the fuck did you leave Rockstar? And that was kind of, I think, skipped over. Or probably there would be, surely off camera, like, don't ask this, don't say that, and that's probably what it was. But yeah, Grand Theft Auto 6, I wouldn't worry about it at all. My only fear for Grand Theft Auto 6 would be the lessons they learned in the multiplayer of Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't understand, A, why people like that at all, and 2, why it's still like the best-selling thing on the store all the time. Like, who is buying shark cards? When did Grand Theft Auto 4 come out? Fuck, is it? No, it's not 10 years. Or could be. This far, into it. 2008. No, 2008 was Grand Theft Auto 4. Did I say 4? I meant 5. When did 5 come out? I want to say 2014, 15. Yeah, crazy. But yeah, I wouldn't be too concerned. You and Champ Chong got me through high school, dude. Thank you. You are more than welcome. The Champ Chong thing we can leave behind. I will. You know what? Here's a bit of this. See, no matter where I travel in this world, I still have next to me. Just in case you need to see it again. There's Champ Chong on the front page. Oh, you got to laugh at these things. No, he's a good bloke. I've met him a few times. Right, what am I up to? Sorry. Still in Wollongong? Yes, love Wollongong. Well, not really. I suppose if you're ever from a smaller town, all you want to do is leave it, and you leave it, and all you want to do is go back. But luckily, with the whole working from home thing, I get to work from home, so I'm loving life. Don't have to travel. Where am I up to? Don't love Fortnite. Already answered that. Is this a one-off stream? I don't know. I think, you know what, this could be the beginning of, there's definitely not going to be any kind of structured content, but when I feel like I want to talk, I will talk, hopefully. Once I can figure out all this mess and all this shit. But you never know. Never say never. Can't believe Grand Theft Auto 5 was that old. Is that old? That's nuts. Is it on PlayStation 5 or Xbox? Well, I've got all of them. I've got the PlayStation 5. Main gig is still the Xbox because love the controller. I love the achievements. I'm not going to lie. I've also got a gaming PC now. I know after 20 years of saying I would never do it, finally got one sitting right there, which is what I plugged this into. Because last night I'm like, you know what I could do tomorrow? Let's do a live stream. And lost my train of thought there. I'm like, excellent. I've got my MacBook. Great. I'll just plug that into the wall. I can sit at on the kitchen table. Love and life. I've got my headset. No worries. I haven't got to put any effort into this at all. This morning, plugged the MacBook in. It hasn't been turned on in a while. My fault. Turned it on. Battery's dead. Won't turn on. It's like, fucking hell. Here we go. It's like, okay, don't worry. Got my gaming PC now. I know when I moved. I've got this whole bucket of just old YouTube shit, web camera, microphones, headset, everything. Went to go have a look at it. Web camera, I must have chucked it. And obviously this hasn't got one built in because it's a tower. And then all my microphones I've mentioned this at the start, so I apologize if I'm repeating myself, are old XLR cables. So the big, three prong thing, not USB. Don't know where the adapter is or the little interface thing. So I couldn't use that. And then I'm like, I said I'd do it. I have to do it. I'm in the mood to do it. So today I made a mad rush to JB Hi-Fi and bought a webcam and a microphone. So hopefully they're all good. But yes, I totally forgot what the hell that question was. Oh, about the PC. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, got the PC just because I'm one of those people, similar to the story I just told about the webcam and the thing. Once I get an idea in my head, I have to get it. So I'm like, fuck it, let's get a gaming PC. There's a website in Australia. They build it for you. They deliver it. Great. I paid for it. Loving it. Unfortunately, because I'm an Xbox fanboy, I'm playing mostly through the Xbox PC app, which is actually really good because you can get achievements twice on some games, which is beautiful. But but you obviously can play mouse and keyboard with some stuff, and then some stuff is just on Game Pass, which it's impossible to play on a console, like Rogue Galaxy, Rogue Trader, the Warhammer thing. But yeah, and then playing mostly nothing new on PC, mostly old shit. I've been playing nothing but Roller Coaster Tycoon. Oh, what's it called? The mod thing. Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. I can't remember what it's called. Open source thingamajiggy. I've been playing that. And SimCity 3000. So you spend thousands of dollars on a gaming PC to play shit that came out 30 years ago. You know, poetic, I suppose. Because I cannot, if it's a strategy game, mouse and keyboard all the way. Or like I was saying, something like Rogue Trader, mouse and keyboard all the way. Anything else I need to control. I'm too old. I'm too slow. It's not happening anymore. But yeah. But it's good to have it. And also The Sims. You know, I don't care anymore. I play The Sims. It's good. It's fun. Although I build shit and then I never play it. Sorry, that was another rant. Where am I up to? Sorry, mate. First watching videos at 12. Now I'm 28. I remember seeing the Hawks jersey back in the day and asking if you're from Wollongong too. Nice to see you back. Well, there's a Hawks jersey there. Hang on. Was that the question? I remember seeing the Hawks jersey back in the day. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, still in Wollongong. I can't be bothered to move out. It's move out of Wollongong. It's too much. I'm in a new place though, which is fun, and all the challenges that provides. Up a hill. I haven't put Grand Theft Auto 5 on my Xbox for like 5 years. Yeah, neither have I. It's, hang on, that's a lie. Because it first came out, beat it, and then they remade it, and it came to Game Pass, and then I beat it again. And I remember that I did not like the story at all. Did I even talk about Grand Theft Auto 5? I can't say this isn't the problem. I don't even know what haven't spoken to. Well, see, I should have left Wollongong for work. But luckily, I got into career mode, lucked into a career mode at the height of, at the start of COVID, actually. So instead of having to travel to Sydney anymore, which is a pain in the ass, and I don't have to explain that to anyone from Wollongong, particularly every day, lucked in to that. So that's the whole thing that happened that I was spoken about, COVID. Lucked into that, got a mad job, worked from home the entire time, used that experience in that job to get a better job down here in Wollongong. So I didn't have to travel. Well, I started to have to travel a couple of years ago, and it was just fucking murder. I can't do public transport. And then driving to Parramatta, Concord and then to Parramatta was just murder. You waste so much time. Have you seen the state of the original Call of Duty YouTubers? I have. It's quite sad. It goes to show that the people that looked at this as a flash in the pan, which it definitely was, so take advantage of it as much as you can, and the people that never saw it, it's like, this is going to end. And then they have no skills and a gap in one's resume for 10 to 15 years. What do? You go on the internet and beg. It's interesting. 360 SmackDown vs. Raw games and Tony Hawk. Okay, SmackDown vs. Raw, mad. Which one? There's so many of them. I remember I was looking on Wikipedia, because this is what I do before I go to sleep now. I go on Wikipedia and just go on these weird tangents, and that was one of them. And I was looking at all the old SmackDown vs. Raw games. So good. Tony Hawk games? Yes, but my problem with that is you don't have it for a while, and then they're like, we're going to remake it, like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 and 3 and 4, which is what they've done. And it's like, I cannot wait to play this. I haven't played it in 10 years, 20 years. This is my childhood, blah, blah, blah. You put it in, and you're like, oh, fuck, I can't be bothered to do this again. Same with Oblivion. This is probably my problem. Scream bloody murder. I really want a Oblivion remaster. They finally did it, and it was free. Well, not free, but it was on Game Pass. Installed it, played 20 minutes of the main quest, got to the arena, did all the arena shit first go, Never picked it up again. Same with Tony Hawk. However, if they remake Tony Hawk Underground 1 and 2, I would probably play through those more. I think maybe it's just me, but the gameplay of Tony Hawk 1, 2, 3, and 4 of you've got 2 minutes to do all this shit, I think we're past that. And I think that's probably why I didn't pick it up as much as I did when I was, a child. My Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, I probably would have been 6 or 8 when that came out. Like, that was like the shit. Wasteland I never played. That was in a weird transitional period for me as a video game player where it was like, this is just fun on the N64. No, Wasteland was 360. Sorry. This is fun on the PlayStation 2. But by the time I really like video games, by the time I got the 360, I was so far behind that I don't think I picked up American Wasteland. Going to Sydney is a trek, whether you drive or whether you get the train. What you guys call a sheep shag. Oh, so you're from New Zealand. Very nice. Welcome to our lands. Where have I been? I've been around. Been busy. It's crazy how you get older. But yeah, nothing too fancy. I'd love to say, I was addicted to heroin or I was on a rock and roll band tour or something. But no, just life. And the older you get, the more it hits you. Modern Warfare 2 rant about the UK banning the game. London Underground Part is cemented in my brain is one of the funniest. When people say stuff like that, I don't know what they're talking about because I can't stand listening to myself, watching myself, which is why my quality has always been dog shit because I refuse to edit it because that would have to be put effort into watching myself, which I can't do. So many videos I would be like, say I had a 10-minute video, I would be up to about 9 minutes and 30 seconds and I would fuck something up and I'm like, I'll forget the whole fucking thing. Let's start again. So the amount of good points I've not made yet. Did I try the new Skate? No. I was never a Skate person. It was too technical for me. Only recently have I played Skate 2 because it was on Game Pass. I was always more of a Tony Hawk person. I thought you were busy being Isaac Butterfield's doppelganger. I think that's the guy with the big beard, and I'll take that as a compliment, I hope. Have I found any good games this generation? Oh, that's a big question. I feel like the last generation was probably the worst. The Xbox One. Hang on. Fuck, what was the last? PlayStation 4, Xbox One. I get confused with the Xbox with their stupid naming conventions. Good games this generation. I feel like, and this I think hits more to me now because I've been playing a lot of like what you would say would be traditional like AA games. So not the big budget productions, but your smaller, funner, well, to me anyway, games that I think personify the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 generation, right? So your AA games, the ones that are like just really fun. They didn't exist, I don't think, at all in the Xbox One, PlayStation 4 era. It was all like, okay, how much money can we throw at this shit? Let's make it stick. Nothing really did for me. PlayStation 4, Xbox. No, honestly, last generation, not much. But this one, I think now we're in it has to be an absolute AAA masterpiece or some weird online shit. But saying that, for Christmas, no one knew what to get me. I might just get me random Xbox games. So I got the Vampire Masquerade, and I'm playing. Oh fucking hell! Not The Last of Us, dickhead. What's it called? Oh, it's really going to annoy me. Hell Is Us, and I'm playing it at the moment. I can't remember what the hell it's called, but they're more AA games. So they're not as big. And I'm enjoying playing through those kind of stuff more than now your big AAA shit that comes with just nothing really. But this generation, I think, has been a lot better. We've had, I mean, in the last year, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which was a masterpiece. Claire Obsidian 33 or whatever, masterpiece. There's more. I know there's more, but I can't see why can't I think. So this is the problem. You got to try and remember all this shit. Red Dead Redemption 2, although that was the last one. No, hang on. Red Dead Redemption 2. Hang on. Was that on 360? No. I think no, it wasn't. Maybe it could be. I can't remember. No, it wasn't. Surely not. But I remember going to the midnight launch and it coming on 2 discs. Maybe it is. I can't remember. What other big ones from this generation are there? Oh, Disco Elysium. That's a great one. Although that could exist in theory on any fucking generation because it's not pushing any kind of technical boundaries. Well, I suppose, you know what? Maybe it is. Still hate Nintendo. No, I like Nintendo, but I'm just at the point now where I'm not paying $700 and something for one game, which is effectively what I was doing with all the other Nintendos. I was paying the $600-700 to play Mario, which, don't get me wrong, Mario, incredible, loved it, but I'm not, no more. I don't care for Zelda. Although the new Switch Donkey Kong looks pretty cool, but again, I'm not paying. No, sorry. They need it to be cheaper and for a lot more first party for me to be interested in Nintendo once again. It's really annoying me that I can't think of more games from this generation because I know it's been a good one. Starfield, that was a bit of shit, wasn't it? God, let's go back. And having Game Pass, I mean, Game Pass is still, I mean, even though it's more expensive now, like it went up like, 50% overnight, is still such a great platform. But the problem with Game Pass is the impact of the game means a lot less because you're just scrolling through a thing going, oh yeah, I'll give that a go, fuck it. And giving that a go for me was Clair Obscur, blah, 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 33, which is one of, the greatest games of the year. But because I had nothing invested in it, it was just another thing to download to play that week, which is so much of what Game Pass and PlayStation Plus, I think, has become. Which is good because you get to play all those games that you don't have to really fork out money for. But at the same time, it's like, oh, yeah, I'll give it a go. Fuck it. Have I played the Final Fantasy VII remakes? I have not. Maybe one day. I don't have the nostalgia for it like a lot of other people. When we turn that beard into the mutton chops, I think it is, isn't it? There's nothing in the middle. Yeah, I'd like to know everyone else's opinion. Not just me. Tell me, what have you been playing for the past 6 to 7 years? What have you hated? What have you loved? Because there's shit out there that I, wouldn't have touched. I wouldn't even think of. I think I've missed a lot of small games on PC. Definitely. Hell, I've missed a lot of games probably on PlayStation because I don't play that as often. That's still my dedicated exclusives machine. And in saying that, I very rarely play exclusive on there because they're so fucking expensive here. I was in JB Hi-Fi today and I always look down the games aisle just to go played it, shit, good, blah, blah, blah. And the PlayStation games, even for just the remakes, like the remakes of, what's that samurai game that are really going to piss me off? What the hell is it called? Ghost of Tsushima or whatever is $120. Like, fuck off. It's just as expensive as the new one, which I also refuse to pay that amount of money for. But, yeah, I suppose that's, again, being spoiled on the Xbox side. I mean, granted, Microsoft don't have fuck for any exclusives anyway, but and that, I think, is a fault as well because it's hard to get excited for games anymore. If Microsoft come out and swing their big dick around and go, well, we've got Call of Duty now, which was shit, by the way. We've got Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Starfield. The new Gears of War apparently is coming. Fable, which I thought got cancelled. You know, all this stuff, or even third-party stuff, like, again, like Clair Obscure and other things that they get on launch. It's hard to be excited for anything. Because it's like, oh, yeah, throw it on preload, play when it comes out. Same with PlayStation Plus. It's kind of ruined it's a double-edged sword, I think, because it's great because you're playing it for $20, $30, $40, however much you're paying a month. But at the same time, it's like, it's hard to get excited for something that you know you're going to have access to regardless, if that makes any sense. The most thing I am looking forward to is Ken Levine from BioShock, his new game, Judas, which is, to me, vaporware at this point, and the one that looks exactly like BioShock Infinite, Clockwork. Oh, I'm going to say Clockwork Orange, and I know it's not called that. Clockwork Revolution. Those I'm excited for. Xbox has turned basically into a multimedia player. Well, I think that's a sadness, unless you're playing games on something else, which hopefully you are. Battlefield 6, I thought it was pretty good. Battlefield and me have a complex relationship because it's like an abused housewife. It's like they look so good, the game, and then you play it and it is shit. And then the next one comes out and it looks amazing and it plays like shit. And then the next one comes out and it looks amazing and it plays like shit. And this has been going on for 10 plus years. Since Battlefield 3. But this one was actually pretty good. The multiplayer, I'm not a multiplayer guy anymore. That gene has left my body. Besides Arc Raiders, I don't really play multiplayer. And if I do, it's more in a co-op setting. Like the new Call of Duty, what is it, Black Ops 8? I downloaded that purely because, again, it was on Game Pass. I think I played half a multiplayer game, rage quit, uninstalled. I'm like, this is just shit. And then I tried the single player before that, and it's not single player at all. It has to be online, and I'm like, nah, can't be doing this. Did I play Black Myth Wukong? I did not. I think that's added to my ever-growing backlog. Because there's so much games take so much time now. Like, I just beat Banishers, which is, again, like more of that AA game I was talking about, and that went on that took me weeks to beat. It went on and on and on and on and on. Whereas some games, the AAA, you beat in like an afternoon. It's a fickle business. But yeah, there's heaps of shit on the backlog. Like, I'm playing through, just beat Vampire Masquerade 2, which was pretty good. Nothing special. I seem to weirdly have more attention for kind of mediocre games than I do like big, really good ones. Like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was a struggle for me to like get into. But then once you're into it, you're into it. I mean, that game was just... And to lose role-playing game of the year... Like, if you don't want to give it game of the year, whatever, I don't really care about that. But for it to lose role-playing game of the year was just ponderous at best. Yeah, I heard the rumors about the new Fallout remaster. I heard it was going to be Fallout 3, which I'm not mad about. I would prefer Fallout New Vegas, but I'll take any and all. Because I played, was it last year? Oh, well, obviously it was last year. Maybe the year before that, I downloaded all the Fallout 3 because I never played through any of the DLCs besides the one that lets you keep playing. So for those who don't know, Fallout 3 ended. You couldn't play it again. You could only reboot, I think, to your save. Whereas there was a DLC, I can't remember what it's called, that let you continue to play it after the ending. Like, the ending just didn't happen. And that was the only one I played. So it was good to go back and play through the Alien one, the Pit, which I think was a bit shit, to be honest. But it was a hard playthrough from a game from, 2007. So it'd be good to see a remaster. I don't know how they do it, but... to remake. I mean, what did they do with Oblivion? Again, I didn't play Oblivion that much. They definitely didn't remake it with the Skyrim engine, I can tell you that. So I don't know if they would you make. See, but that's the problem. Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas wouldn't work in a Fallout 4 engine anyway. So I don't know, to make everything look better. Which is null and void because the graphics in Fallout are so shit anyway. It's all about gameplay. Anyway, I don't know what they're going to do, but it'll be interesting to see. Cyberpunk 20, yeah, that was good. I played through, I got lucky. You know how like you just, when every now and then when a game comes out that's absolutely cooked and everyone has game-breaking bugs and everyone has glitches and all this shit and it crashes dashboard or desktop all the time. But you are like the one person where nothing goes wrong. That was my experience in Cyberpunk 2077. Nothing ever went wrong. So I got lucky. So I beat it like, the first couple of weeks it was out. I haven't touched it since. I'd love to go back and replay it, but can't be bothered. But it was good. I mean, I think Witcher, edges it out, but it was definitely a different style of game, which was cool. Love the world. How can you not? Then apparently, Witcher 4. That'll be good. I did play the Phantom Liberty DLC. That's the one with. Is it Idris Elba? I think it is. That was cool. It's good when the DLC comes out a lot later. I mean, not in this case, but it's good when it comes out and then you kind of went, well, you know what? Instead of playing the DLC straight away from an old save where I don't know the fucking controls, I'll restart it. I, however, did not restart it. I just played the DLC. Whereas I should have. My big shame this generation, and I'm not afraid to admit, is Baldur's Gate. I bought it for the Xbox. Played for an hour or so, immediately got the shits with the controller. Then Googled to see, which I assumed you could do, was to play it with mouse and keyboard on the Xbox. Can't do that, first of all. And I'm not buying it again on Steam or Good Old Games or whatever. I'm not buying it again. So it has the option to enter the world of Xbox Play Anywhere, which they're always flogging on about. So hopefully, eventually it comes to Xbox Play Anywhere, like a lot of other games where I can just download it on my PC. You can do it on cloud gaming, but that would probably cause a house fire at this place. So I don't like my chances to do that. That is on my list. If I hopefully either they, again, put it on the Xbox Play Anywhere thing or do mouse and keyboard off the console. Not fucking paying for it again. Now, should I have bought it for PC first? Probably. Sue me. But I didn't. But that would be probably, particularly after I played Rogue Trader. If you haven't played Rogue Trader, Warhammer Rogue Trader, I don't know a fucking goddamn thing about Warhammer, but that game, that'd be up there this generation for me. What else? What else is coming out? I don't even know. I know. See, that's the problem with Baldur's Gate. I know it's going to be a time sink, so I want to be comfortable playing it. I don't want to play it on a fucking controller with the wheel and all the shit. And it's just like, it's not meant, as much as I love console, it's not meant for that at all. They can try. No, I need a mouse and keyboard. And I never thought I would say those words. But same with Rogue Trader. I think that took for fucking ever to beat too. And some of the choices and decisions and story in that, again, someone who knows nothing about Warhammer, A, I learned a lot about Warhammer, and two, some of the, like, just, there's no right choice, which I think is very rare in video games these days, whereas there always seems to be the right choice, the medium choice, or the wrong choice, you've just been an asshole. Whereas like Rogue Trader was like, just like, not black and white, it was so grey. Like you'd pick one option and then all of a sudden just like you slaughter 100 people just for the fun of it. It's like, that's not the option I thought I was picking. And then you're like, oh, fuck, I'm in it now. Or like you try and be like a humanist kind of person. And then like at the end of the game, you're like, well, you're a pussy. This has happened. But yeah. Thank you. They did lose to New Zealand. I was there. Typical. There's been a shit season for the Hawks. I mean, after winning it last season, and now they're third last. Definitely not going to make the playoffs. Which is such a sadness. Particularly with some of the, I mean, I think on paper they got some of the greatest talent in the league, and they just never clicked. It clicked that one game against Taipans the other week, and then but ever since, it's been a shit season. Particularly being a fucking season ticket holder, that's money well spent. Did I ever try Warframe? I have not. Did I ever play Astrobot? I certainly did. See, there's another one I forgot about. I would have made that. That came out not last year, sorry, 2024. That would have been my game of the year because that was just like so perfect in everything it tried to do. The platforming, the bonus levels, the characters, being from the PlayStation heritage. Incredible. 10 out of 10 if I were to give a rating. Honestly, I mean, besides, no, because it's not co-op. Maybe it was co-op. Maybe I think that would add a little bit to it. But other than that, there was nothing wrong with it that I could even think of. And it was always like, it was so charming every time you would find like a new level or a new character that it's like, oh, that character's from Silent Hill or God of War. And then you'd like, oh, like all excited. See, I'm torn on the DualSense with the triggers that like you have to, I turn it off. That could just be me. I've tried. I don't like it. What was that PlayStation game I played with it on and I absolutely hated it. I can't remember what it was now. Was it Tsushima? It could have been. And there was something I was cutting. I don't know what I was doing. I'm like, I can't fucking play with this. So I turned it off. So now I don't even try. I just turn it off straight away. The adaptive triggers. No. Did I ever play the Resident Evil 4 remake? I sure did. Can't remember a goddamn thing about it, but I know I did. I played all the Resident Evil remakes this generation. So what did they do? They did 2, 3, 4. 2 I liked. No, did they do 3? I think they did. Anyway, I played them all. They were all very good. I wouldn't play a Resident Evil 5 remake. I did not like that game at all. Fucking horrible, bloody forced, weird NPC co-op shit. Not for me, that. Sorry, I'm just looking at all these options on this bloody YouTube thing. Death Stranding, no, didn't try any of them. They looked absolutely tedious and boring, although I could be wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong. But no. And I don't have that affection for Kojima to put up with it that a lot of people would have, which is fair enough, but no, not for me. Well, yeah, walking simulator. That's what I saw. I watched gameplay and stuff, and it's like you're just trying to balance carrying packages. I'm sure there's more to it than what I watched. I'm sure of that. But at no point does that interest me. And Mads Mikkelsen, who I love more than anything from Hannibal, I would give anything for that man, but I'm not willing to put the effort into that shit. And he's in the first. Is he in the first one or the second one? I'd say the first one I know a lot about because they were flogging it. Second one, heard very little. So, because the second one came out, was it last year? I'm going to say this year a lot, thinking it's still 2025, just to get that out of the way. But yeah, no. Played a lot of Yakuza games as well. Again, like the remake ones, and then the Like a Dragons. They were good. The Weird Pirate one I beat just before Christmas. That was really fun. There's some other weird games I played this year. Bus Simulator. Played Bus Simulator again. That's like my guilty pleasure game, Bus Simulator. Can't explain it. You get on the piss and play Bus Simulator. Love and life. Don't know why. No idea. It's a shit game. In every, sense of the word. The The second one is set in Australia. What? Or Death Stranding? Or Bus Simulator? So I'm so used to driving on the right-hand side of the road that driving on the left now is confusing, at least in video games. But if Death Stranding is set in Australia, I don't know how that works. Maybe I do have to play them. I mean, can anyone vouch for it being worthwhile? I'm assuming I have to, or hang on, no one's going to understand the story in any of these games, right? So probably you don't got to play the first one to understand the second one because no one knows what's going on. Because I remember the trailer, there's like a baby in a jar and then invisible monsters that are being controlled by Mads Mikkelsen for some reason, and then Norman Reedus is trying to deliver shit from point A to point B. I don't fucking know. You have to be on a lot of mushrooms, I think, to understand anything that Hideo Kojima writes, which is, I think is true art, but at the same time, it's like fucking hell. Good luck to him. Yeah, I get relaxing games. There are some games that I just put on to, it's just, you appreciate the formula. I think a lot of sports games like that, like I like NBA. Not the recent 2Ks by any stretch of the imagination, but sports games in general are one that you can just put on and just not have to think about, which is refreshing. Even sports you don't even know. I don't know a goddamn thing about ice hockey, but it's on Game Pass. I'll give it a go. Right, and with that, I'm going to go get a drink and have a slash. I encourage everyone else to do the exact same thing. I'll meet you back in probably, 2 to 3 minutes. I don't know how to turn the camera or the microphone off, so you're probably going to see me walk away. Enjoy it while you can. I shall return. Oh, God. Oh, everything hurts. Right, what did I miss? Nothing. So how has everyone else been? Has anything interesting happened in your lives that we should know about? Or just much the same? Sorry, 1 second. 26 must be nice. Oh, it'll be 26 again. Those are the good old days, the 20s. Missed them. Engage with your audience. Some weird options here, man. Pagmata. I think I've seen that. Hang on, if I go to the JB Hi-Fi website, this is how I find out bloody what games are coming out. There's Reanimal 2, which looks very interesting, which is by the people who made... I'm forgetting the game. Little Nightmares 1 and 2, then got booted off for arguably the worst one in the series in Little Nightmares 3. How do you go from having couch co-op to not having couch co-op? That game is meant for couch co-op. Got rid of it, and then the original creators went off and making their own one, which is good. It's called Reanimal, which looks really good, and I'm excited to play that. Resident Evil, obviously, that's day one. Why wouldn't it be? Nothing else is coming out. You might as well. That looks interesting. 007 First Light, that looks good as well. Something different from the people of Hitman. I don't think if they ever made anything other than Hitman. I think they made... I want to say they made that weird urban riot response game in the early 2000s, which I never got to play, unfortunately. But yeah. So there is stuff. I mean, there's stuff. I mean, JB Hi-Fi hasn't got a lot coming out, to be honest, now that I look at it. Crimson Desert, I don't know about that. That could be 50-50. My understanding that it's a sequel to an MMO that's not an MMO anymore. Now it's a single-player game. But yeah, I think I'm going to fill in all the gaps of stuff that I've missed. Definitely more PC games than anything, I would say. Kane Lynch. They did make Kane Lynch. Yes, they did. Hang on one sec. Sorry, it's a bit dark in here. Ugh. I hope this doesn't wash the camera out. Sorry, where am I up to? New Yakuza games? I like the new Yakuza games. I think it was good to go from the very repetitive combat to turn-based. And it hurts me to say that because I normally hate turn-based games. Because I think that's a relic of the 90s and early 2000s. But yeah, it was, I think, the right thing to do. The pirate one is just incredibly stupid and hilarious. Also like that too. But yeah, definitely like it. And I like that it's catching on a lot more, whereas Yakuza used to be quite a niche game. It does annoy me that there's an English option. I'm not a weeaboo, but I'm going to be a weeaboo now. Why play Yakuza? I have it in English. Why? Put it in Japanese and read the subtitles. And then, ponder as to what the fuck is going on because the story makes no goddamn sense. What do you get up to these days? What do I get up to these days? Well, I play games. What do I do else besides that? Work, unfortunately, as we all do. What else do I do? Well, this is depressing now. Bum around. Music. I do a lot of music. Well, I don't do music, but I listen to a lot of music, and I've kind of gone backwards now. I'm listening to it. It's just going to sound so wanker and so pretentious, and I know I look like that anyway, so bring it on. Mad back into vinyl records again. Not afraid to say it. Something sexy about owning your music, even though it is a digital reproduction, even though it's not physical, it's still a digital thing put on plastic that sounds worse than digital anyway. Fuck you, I know. But I've been buying a lot of video game soundtracks on vinyl. That's my new hobby at the moment. So I've got the soundtrack, which I'm playing the most at the moment. Forgot the name of the fucking game. Oh, God. Disco Elysium. I got the soundtrack to that on vinyl, and I'm absolutely flogging that. It's a beautiful soundtrack. It's a beautiful game. If you've not played Disco Elysium, I encourage you, because the creator got sued to the shit house and he ain't making any more games ever again. So just go and play Disco Elysium. Honestly, it's a life-changing, well, at least for me, game. There is see, I had the mutton chops before it came out. I want that known, but there is a scene in it where you have the option to shave off your character's mutton chops. Don't do it. Don't do it. Why would you do that? But yeah, beautiful game. I also got it coming in the post, the soundtrack to the Far Cry series. I was pissed up and thought I will buy that only because I love the soundtrack to Far Cry 2, but it comes as a package. And I got Hitman Contract soundtrack on the way, which is a lovely soundtrack as well if you've not listened to it. But yeah, definitely getting into more music and pop punk. My mates in a band. If anyone lives in Wollongong, they're playing Dicey's on February 9th. I will be there, hopefully. I think it's February 9th. Go to Dicey's. Let's get stabbed. And Dicey's, this is going to make no sense to anyone not from Wollongong, but Dicey's get some mad bands now. Like I've seen some really cool bands there, like Drain, Basement. Who was that other mob? Speed. So, yeah. You met me in Music Farmers. I haven't been in Music Farmers in a while since that bloke went on a rampage about the English language. That was a whole big thing. I should probably go back. 14, when you found your content around 2012, I didn't have internet at my house. I found a program that could download entire channels of list of videos and I would rewatch over again. I am so sorry that happened to you. That there wasn't anyone else. While I greatly appreciate it, don't get me wrong, I feel sorry that you didn't find anyone a lot better than this. Blues Brothers is still my favorite film. Yes, they're a lot. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot better movies, but that one's my favorite. Like School of Rock, that's up there as well for me. Love that movie. Fuck the Hawks, go United. Oh my God, that's like the worst team. No one likes United. You see, as a Wollongong fan, you got to hate Sydney Kings, right? But United, I think, are worse now. You got Chris Goulding who falls over like he's got shot. You got that coach that looks like the slug thing off Monsters Inc. No, sorry. I mean, granted, we've not had a good year, embarrassingly enough, because I think we've got some great talent. But, it is what it is. I think Adelaide will win. I think it'll be an Adelaide Kings final, and I do not want the Kings to win. So I'll go. Goulding kills it. No, he doesn't. What's he done lately? MVP has to be Bryce Cotton for my thoughts. I thought McGee would have and he started off, for the Hawks a thing, but I don't know, he's fallen off. All the Hawks have fallen off, to be honest. I think it goes to show that you need a good team, not just good individual players. Although if your individual player is as good as Bryce Cotton, then what does it matter? And yes, we did beat Melbourne last year, and that's all that matters. I agree. It is good to see the NBL going off. I remember going as a kid. We had season tickets when I was like, mate, 1997, 97, 98, 99. And it was just fun to go to. Then it fell off, and now it's like massive. Now it's massive, which is good. You've got a lot of like younger American players coming here instead of going through college. And then you've got the older ones coming. Good to see. It's just some of the games are hard to watch, particularly if you're an Illawarra fan. Last of Us 2. Okay, here are my thoughts on The Last of Us 2. Came out on the PlayStation 4. I had my PlayStation 4, just finished the first Spider-Man, or the first Spider-Man. I say, the Insomniac Spider-Man. Loved that. It's great. Put Last of Us 2 in. Played maybe half an hour, the PlayStation 4 turned off, never turned back on again. So threw that in the bin. Then many years later, when they remade it for the PlayStation 5, went out, purchased The Last of Us 2 for the PlayStation 5, never taken it out of the plastic wrap. So, did I just say The Last of Us 5? I think I did. The Last of Us 2, never took it out of the plastic wrap. So it's still sitting in there. It's on my list. If you can make a case for it, I'll throw it. I will play it soon, or at least take it out of the plastic. New Tomb Raider games. Loved all the new Tomb Raider games. They just made way too many of them way too quickly. I never finished the last one because I got stuck in some weird underground temple thing and just cracked the shits. First one was really good. Second one was really good. Third one was really good. Never beat it. And now I think they're remaking the original ones and also making a new one. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong on that. Well, I know they're remaking the original ones, which would be interesting because I can't remember playing them since everyone bricked the game by putting in the apparent, naked cheat code. And we all did it. Don't lie. I miss my shirt collection. As you get older and fatter, they tend to not fit as well. And somehow I think I got taller too, which is a little bit annoying. But yeah, I had so many cool shirts back in the day. Still got a couple cool ones now, but just, yeah. I haven't seen you in years since COD days. How the hell are you? I am very well, thank you. How are you? You have a very interesting username. It gives me the old emo chicks on MSN Messenger vibe where they're all a dinosaur. But yeah, very well, thank you. I mean, obviously not without, roadblocks and hiccups along the way, but very well, thank you. And the COD days, God, those were the days, weren't they? I think that, now we have, Call of Duty, for all its faults, used to be a constant in our YouTube lives, didn't it? Everyone was playing Call of Duty. Everyone was looking out for videos of Call of Duty. Everyone was happy to whinge and complain about Call of Duty. Everyone wanted to watch Call of Duty. And then all of a sudden, Call of Duty just was shit. And I think that was the glue that kind of held a lot of people into the YouTube scene. And now, it's absolute wank. So there could be something in that. Shout out the Dead Space shirt. I think the Dead Space shirt was the first video game event thing I ever got to go to, was the Dead Space one. I think I remember exactly what you're talking about. I got so drunk on EA's dime, and then I think I was just making videos on the train on the way home from memory. And then was it just cooked? Because I think I would have been probably 19, 18. And you give free booze to an 18, 19-year-old, it's all game over. I'll never forget. So that was like the first. So it's obviously hosted by EA Australia. And fuck, when was Dead Space? I want to say this was 08. No, it was Dead Space 2, sorry. Whenever that came out, it was at a hotel in Sydney, got the train up, and I was all excited, like, I've made it as this video game journalist. I get to preview this game, blah, blah, blah. And I'll never forget, I printed off with all the colored ink my printer had, the invitation, right? Printed it off. I was so chuffed, had my backpack. I wrote, this is before, you got to understand, people, before Google Maps was on your phone, I literally drew it in a notebook of like where the train station was and where the pub was that we had to go. So I walked, got in there, it was upstairs. As we're going up the stairs, pulled out the invite that I was so excited to show, and this woman went, "Are you here for the thing?" I said, "Yeah, I got this." And she's like, "Oh yeah, you're right, go through." Walked through, and there was probably 20 I think it was PlayStations, you know, like when you go to the shops, you've got the TV and the console in one, and the console's connected to the TV, and the controllers are connected with the little thing. There was about 10 of those. And I was one of the, not the first person, but there were a couple of people there before me. And I was all excited to get to play this game before it comes out. And that's what I thought it was about. Anyway, so I was waiting around because I was anxious and nervous and didn't know anyone. So I'm standing in the corner and people start coming. And then it's chockers. It's full. And I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have waited. I don't know if I'm going to get to play Dead Space 2. Anyway, 10 minutes after that, everyone's there. It's packed. No, not one person is playing Dead Space. Everyone's at the bar. It's not about the game. It was just about getting pissed. So the bar line is massive, blah, blah. So I thought, okay, maybe that's what we do. Maybe there's food coming. I'll get in the thing. I'll have one. I have a Heineken or something, and then we'll go play the game. Anyway, got up. The guy before me, I will never forget, goes, I will have 4 tequila shots, thank you. And they poured it 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's when it clicked. It's like, these preview events are not to play the game. No one gives a shit about these games. It is just to get munted and eat food on a publisher's dime. And it clicked. And then I got absolutely pissed and got the train home somehow. And that's what happened for every other event I went to. The only one I went to where I actually wanted to play the game was Saints Row 3, because obviously I'm a big, massive Saints Row fan. This is back when THQ was still a thing. They had, and there's photos of this on the internet if you can be bothered to search it. They had a stripper do a pole dance thing. It was open bar, obviously, but because THQ used to be in Melbourne and not Sydney, whoever's job it was to bring the demo code forgot to bring the demo code to Sydney. I swear to God this happened, and I got people that can back me up on this. They had to urgent express fly it up from Melbourne to Sydney. So when we got there, none of the consoles were working because they didn't have the code. So everyone was just absolutely munted watching strippers. And then they finally got the code, and the game was it didn't run properly. So that was probably one of my favorites. Yeah, I couldn't believe the one game I wanted to play, and they forgot the demo code. I think probably in retrospect is because all the people there were from IGN, GameSpot Australia, Kotaku, blah, blah, blah. So they had already played the game anyway. This was just a social event for them, but us little fish that actually wanted to play the game, well, so that first time, but that definitely changed. But yeah, it was quite amusing. Did I play Black Ops 7? Is Black Ops 7, that's the last Call of Duty, yeah? The one that came out in November? Or is that Black Ops 8? No, it's definitely 7. Okay, so 7 installed, played half a game, uninstalled it. I thought it was crap. Well, the other Call of Duties I played, the single player, I say it's not even single player, it's that weird like online thing. No, shit, I couldn't even bother to finish it. And same with the zombies. I couldn't play the zombies by myself. I don't want to fucking, wait for people to play with randos. I just want to do my own single player thing. But no. The more complex it gets, the worse it gets. So I agree with Luke here. The original Call of Duties were just perfect. I mean, they had their faults, obviously, but compared to now, they were simple. And, simple is hard. I think Picasso said that. There you go, there's a good quote. But they were simple. In the best possible way. My top 5 games of this console generation. Oh, shit. That's a hard one. This generation. Because to me, this generation blends in so much with the previous generation of the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. So, top 5. I'm going to put Disco Elysium in there. I need to see a list because there's ones I'm going to forget. No, because Witcher 3 was Xbox One, so that's not this generation. Fuck, what's Disco Elysium? No, that's this generation. No, it's not. Yes, it is. It is. I'm counting. Well, fuck it. I'm counting Disco Elysium. Sue me. Oh, this is hard. This is hard. This is hard. This is hard. I'm just going to look at an article of best games of this generation, just so I can remember. Because see, that's the problem. Best. I don't even know what to search. Best games of this generation. Maybe that will help. Oh man, they've not put. Often cited include Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate 3, God of War, Ragnarok, Legend of Zelda, Marvel Spider-Man 2. Okay, none of those would probably make it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure Baldur's Gate would be there, but I've not played it. Aha, Game Rant. Thank you very much. All right, let's go through this article. Oh, there's only 12. That's not good. Oh, it's got Forza Horizon. That's not good. And a remake. Oh, that's not good. Well, see, but that tells me that there hasn't been that many. Okay. Fucking Astrobot would be on there for sure. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. What am I up to? That's 3. This is a struggle. See, what Cyberpunk? Cyberpunk was last generation. Xbox One, PlayStation 4. Fuck. Probably Rogue Trader. I'd put Rogue Trader up there. Although that came out on PC fucking years before it did on console, didn't it? Oh, shit, here we go. So this is where it gets confusing. I'm just trying to think of ones that made an impression. Like, I hate to say, like, if you have not played Disco Elysium, go and play it. Seriously, so good. Right, what did I say? Disco Elysium, Astrobot, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I'll go Claire Obscure Expedition 33 because that was really good. And I'll go Rogue Trader. That's my 5 off the top of my head. I'm sure I've missed something and something would definitely outplay something else. But unless you can think of it for me, I can't. Because so many games are blah, 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 Xbox One X edition or blah, 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 PlayStation 5 edition. So few are native to this generation. I'm missing a big one. I can feel it. And I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm trying to think of the video game awards. Maybe if I look up the video game awards. Here we go. Come up with something. Video game awards. 25. I don't think there was anything besides Claire Obscure and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. No. Okay. What was the year? What was 2024? So 2024. What even won in 2024? Astrobot, yeah, mentioned that. See, Black Myth Wukong, not played. That's probably really good. Elden Ring is definitely not my style of game. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, never played it. Metaphor Fantasio, no. Sorry. All right, 2023. What one in 20? See, Baldur's Gate, yeah. Oh, Alan Wake 2. See, that's on my list too. I've played probably a couple of hours of that. No, that's on my shame list. See, Resident Evil 4, great remake, but I don't think it should be in a top 5 of a generation in which it is not from. Right, 2022, what happened? Elden Ring, Plague Tale, God of War, Ragnarok, Horizon, Stray, Xeno. Oh my god, this has been a shit generation, hasn't it? I suppose God of War would be in there if for nothing else. All right, what about 2021? It Takes Two, no. Deathloop, no. Metroid Dread, no. Psychonauts 2, no. Resident Evil Village, no. Resident Evil Village, I mean, no. Ratchet and Clank was pretty good, but I wouldn't put it in my top 5. Psychonauts 2, that was also pretty good. I played that entire thing in training because I was so far advanced. Don't be impressed. 2020. This is the place. This is the last of the. Yeah, no, I can't. I think my top 5. I'm rolling with my top 5. Whatever I said. I got into Saints Row back in 2011 because of your recommendation. Did you try the 2022 reboot? Oh, Alex. Don't start me, brother. That was just like, you know how you know something's going to be shit, but you just have this this part of you that thinks, you know what? No, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. When that part just never came, that was an absolute. It was like everything that made Saints Row good was just like, it was a parody. It was like a South Park parody of Saints Row, if that makes sense. It's just dreadful. Bad. I think it was one of those games that maybe was stuck in development pre-COVID and then came out a lot later. And because of that time, it was already dated, if that makes any sense. Like just the themes, the story, the characters, I feel like it would have been maybe a little bit better earlier in the decade or century. But no. Horrendous. Did I play it? Did I beat it? Yes. Did I buy the special edition? Yes. What do I think about Halo coming to the PlayStation 5? There's a few Xbox exclusives that have made their way to the PlayStation 5. I'm not surprised. I mean, besides Nintendo, is anything really exclusive anymore? I know the PlayStation stuff's obviously not coming to Xbox, but I know it's on PC. Granted, a year or two later, and it runs like shit. But I think at this point, you're just buying a platform. When you buy a console, what platform do you prefer? Besides a Nintendo, where you are purchasing it to play a certain game or certain games, now it's just like, what do you prefer? It's like iPhone or Android, right? Which one do you prefer? It's still going to run the same shit. Particularly if you're Xbox and you've spent fucking $80-something billion purchasing Activision, which is bore no fruit. And you closed a studio called The Initiative. Was it called The Initiative? It was called something similar without them ever creating a game, which is the irony in that is just stupendous. But yeah, I mean, PlayStation, what do they give a fuck anymore? If you can sell on, third party and you sell big in Japan, fucking why bother? Why? I mean, unless there's going to be, I couldn't see Uncharted coming to PC, but all the rest of it I could. I mean, but there's no idea. Are they making a new Uncharted? I don't even know. The past 2 generations for me have just been a total wash. And I think it's because of my age and when I got into video games, like the 360 PlayStation 3 generation to me is the greatest generation of video games. But if you're maybe a little bit older than me, it's probably going to be the PlayStation 2 era. And if you're a little bit older than them, maybe it's the PlayStation 1 era and so forth, so on. But I think objectively, the Xbox 360, PlayStation 2 era, Wii era, was the best for new games, new IP. That's probably about it. But all that online finally being adopted en masse. But now, and you had the AA games that were a little bit cheaper and not as, expansive or technologically advanced as your Uncharted's or your Halos, Gears of War, etc. But they ran really good and they played really good, and that's what mattered. But now everything is like this massive fucking thing that is shit. But they make all their money on the online stuff. There's nothing. It's getting a bit dark in here. I'm going to get up and turn the lights on. But it's hard to get excited for anything anymore. Because if you have a PlayStation 5, you're going to get to play everything. If you have an Xbox, you're probably going to get to play everything. If you have a PC, you're going to get to play everything. Probably not well, but you can play it. Whereas back in the day, it was like a real... You had everything. One way or the other. But I think people could make a good case. Like I wasn't into gaming as hardcore as I was in the 360 era on the PlayStation 2 era, right? So I'm happy to hear the argument that the PlayStation 2 is the greatest ever. But like the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, just this is off the top of my head: Mass Effect, BioShock, Uncharted, Gears of War. I can't say Halo, but the better Halo. Going to cause some unpopular opinion there. The Last of Us, Fallout, Skyrim, Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, Forza, if you're into that kind of thing. The sports games were a lot better. As an NBA fan, like the NBA games were just better. The Call of Duties were a lot better. Everything was better. Witcher 2 is such an underrated game. And if you've played The Witcher 3 and not played The Witcher 2, go play Witcher 2 Thing of Kings, whatever the hell it's called. But that was just... I look at... There was this video, I think it was by Crowcab or Cropcab or whatever he's called on YouTube. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with his thing. And the whole video is just the games coming out for Xbox in November. I think it was 2008. And every 2 days there was a Fallout, a Fable, a Gears of War, a Call of Duty, a fucking Grand Theft Auto. It was just everything. Like, it was incredible. And to be there in that moment was just next level. Now everything's so few and far between. And when it does come out, it's just some janky shit that you need to play online. But I think it's hard to tell people because you sound like old man, yells at cloud. Similar to when we were growing up, we had to listen about the PlayStation 2 and Metal Gear and Final Fantasy and Ratchet and Clank and, so forth, so on. And then you've got the old heads that still go on about like the NES was the greatest generation. So, it's an argument as old as time as far as I'm concerned. I will be back. Oh, I don't look good in lighting. But yeah, they were the golden years. For me, anyway. Hang on, just give me the shits. Oh! What games take up most of my time now? Now, good question. I've been playing a lot of Arc Raiders, playing that with Marcus. He's mad into it. Like, he's just like an absolute gun. So it's kind of like I just join and he tells me what we're doing and I just do it and I get all the mad, loot and stuff. But then if we run into other players, I just get absolutely robbed. I just finished Vampires Masquerade 2. I'm going to start Hell Is Us soon. That was another game I got for Christmas. But just random shit on Game Pass, really. Like every now and then I'll boot up the PC, see if there's any games that are only on the PC Game Pass, and play a couple of those. I got mad into Rogue Trader later last year. But there's no like one game. There's no like one game like, you know, the old Call of Duty is just like, all right, I'm going to be on at 7. You fucking be on at 7. We're going to play till 4 o'clock in the morning. There's nothing really like that anymore. But unfortunately, just a lot of little games, I think, parceled out. You haven't played Expedition 33. Well, it took me a while to get into. I played it for maybe an hour and a half, and I'm like, I don't really like this. And then, you know, something finally just clicked, and then I was into it. Like, I haven't enjoyed a fucking turn-based game in what? Either, well, Yakuza, but in that sense, probably since fucking Pokemon. But it's really good, and I would recommend it. It grabs you, and when it does, it doesn't let you go. The story is really interesting too, and really good. I think, I don't want to spoil anything, but I think it gets a bit sillier than it needed to be. But no, it's definitely solid. I think last year it'd have to be the game of the year. I mean, either that or Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. But yeah. Those would be my choices. I saw someone mention Judas, and I never got to read the whole question. Most hype for in the next year or two, Judas is up there for me. Yes, Alex, I agree. Judas is up there for me as well. That and the game that looks exactly like Bioshock Infinite, Clockwork Revolution. Those two, definitely. That and maybe James Bond, just to see something different from IO. But really, I mean, you take it as you come, don't you? I mean, Grand Theft Auto, obviously. Keen for that. But yeah. Tanner is still alive. Definitely. I was the best man at his wedding. Don't be impressed. It was a big job, but someone had to do it. Thoughts on Arc Raiders? I like Arc Raiders. It's like weirdly addictive, although it's simple. Go and collect shit to build other shit, or just collect shit for the sake of it. It's an addictive thing, and the fact that you can go from what am I looking to say here? Like, it's just quick. Go in, get out, start again. There's no like, it's quick. I think that works to its favor. I think the UI is genius, the way that you can track what you actually need. I think the player versus enemy is a lot more fun than the people versus people aspect of it, because it is very depressing when you get romped by some cunt that says friendly, don't shoot, and then you call in the little lift thing and then you get destroyed, which has happened to me more than once, and it's very upsetting. But no, I think it's cool. And it's what, $40? And it's not pay to win by any stretch of the imagination, which is rare these days. But no, I do quite like it. I think it tickles that multiplayer need without really, I mean, and it's just funny, the situations I've got myself in already, only playing, not that long. It's just hilarious. And I would recommend. And it's got the activity things or the time-based quests or whatever you want to say. But it's interesting that a game that is, by definition, so repetitive is so fun. And it's hard for me too, because this is why it's hard for me to play like Fallout. It's like if I'm just walking along and there's like a broken TV, and it's like, well, you can carry it, but you're gonna be over encumbered. It's like, yeah, but what if I need a broken TV later? And with Arc Raiders, I'm carrying like just useless shit in case there's a quest 6 hours from now where I need, 12 light globes. So for my OCD and that, it's not very helpful, but no, I do rate it. What TV monitor have we got? Good question. So my monitor for my computer, which I'm looking at now, and I apologize that I'm sitting below you because, again, my chair is fucking broken. I'm not buying a new one. Is a Gigabyte M32U or something. It's a 32-inch curve monitor, which I really like. TV for the Xbox and that is a Samsung 55-inch, which is solid, but I've always rated Samsung, but this fucking one, like if you go to use any of the smart features, like it just dies in the ass and it always gets disconnected, and that gives me the shits. But yeah, particularly if you run everything on game mode anyway, but that's not too bad. And then I've got my big sound system thing with the big speakers and it shakes the house. Yeah, I've heard good things of the LG and the Sharp. Surprisingly enough, is supposed to be some of the best. Are you worried about Xbox essentially being dead on arrival for the next gen? I think everything's dead on arrival for the next gen, to be honest. And you've got Sony who make televisions. You've got Xbox who are Microsoft who are a software company. I mean, I think it's just going to be software at the end of the day. I mean, I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong because I love a console. Like it just same with what I was whinging about just then about the smart TV on the feature or the smart TV features not working. A console, and people hate consoles, but more often than not, a console just works. Plug it into the wall, put the disc in, it runs. Whereas, like if you have a PC, there's an infinite amount of different PC options. Will it run? Maybe. Whereas the console just works. So I don't like the idea of putting it, in a software on a smart TV and then you just bring the controller. I don't like the idea of that at all, but I can see that's probably where it's going to be headed, particularly with the price of shit nowadays, with RAM and all that fun stuff. Is a console even, what's the cost benefit there? Particularly for Nintendo. I mean, I've mentioned it again, but Nintendo for me, and I think for most hardcore gamers, is a luxury to purchase to play Mario or Donkey Kong or their first party. But I think long gone are the days where people are happy to pay, $400, $500, $600, $700, $800 to play 3 or 4 games a generation. I could be wrong, but hopefully. But it'll be interesting. But at the same time, I think as much as people think, we're headed for a diskless cloud-based platform, if you go and look at podcasts from 2007, 2008, they're all saying, oh, the next Xbox, which at that point would be the Xbox One, they're not going to have a disk drive. It's going to be cloud, blah, blah, blah. I think people live in bubbles, particularly in the States, where you have really good internet and you have a really good market, right? Whereas the rest of the world has shit internet and a shit market. So the need for discs or cartridges or any kind of physical based media is needed. So I think to do a mass adoption of no disk drive, no cartridge, no hard drive, no box, it's just literally on the television, it's an app. I don't think that would happen. Would it be an option? Yes. Is it the only option? No, I can't see that happening. Because again, like I said, people have been saying the next generation of consoles is not going to have a disk drive for 20 years. Thoughts on physical games? I also prefer physical games simply because, at least in my country, they're a lot cheaper most of the time. That's really all. Because I do the bit of a hack. So if I've got a game that I'm purchasing on disc, say from JB Hi-Fi or wherever, you go on the Xbox app. I don't know if people know about this, but this is a good thing to know. Go on the Xbox app, search up the game. So say you're waiting on Borderlands 4 to come out. You've got your pre-order. You're going to go pick it up tomorrow when it releases. Go on the Xbox app, look up Borderlands 4. It'll say, if you've connected it to your console, it'll say like install to Kieran's Xbox, and you hit install to Kieran's Xbox, and it will download the game, right? So that part is done, because how often do you bring a disc home and it just goes, need to download the entire game? So you've already done that. Go get the disc, put the disc in, it'll authenticate, and then it's good to go like that. You haven't got to install anything. So that's a bit of a hack. I don't know if you can do anything similar with PlayStation. Obviously with PC, I think at this point, is there any physical media on PC anymore? I don't even think when I was building my PC, I didn't even think it was an option to add a disk drive. I could be wrong, but I can't think of any physical thing. But yeah, I don't mind the physical aspect of games either. It's just something cool. Because my thing was, and again, if you're Aussie and with Optus, you'll know about this. I think, was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago? So Optus, which is an internet provider in Australia, just went down. Did not work countrywide, I want to say, for probably a bit over 24 hours. So like, if obviously you had Xbox Live, it's not going to work because the internet's down if that was your provider. But I had the disc for Spider-Man 2. So I played Spider-Man 2 for 2 days. Great. No one else could play anything because they didn't have a fucking disc. So it was great. And it was also great because the company I worked for at the time, our work phones were through Optus. And because I was working from home, I couldn't log in. So I got paid the entire day to play Spider-Man. And play Spider-Man I did. Now, what you do, World Series CJ, is if you've got the Xbox app, see if I can show you. Because this is a good hack to know if you buy physical games. So what's a physical game I don't own? Is Elden Ring on Xbox? Hang on, let me just look it up. Elden Ring. Okay. So it'll say, so you just search it. It'll say buy. See how it says buy? You can't really see it, but at the top it says buy. Ignore that one. Underneath it'll say install to Kieran's Xbox. If you just hit that, it helps if your Xbox is on. I've tried to do this from like the office or whatever. It doesn't really work. But you just hit install the Xbox. Once it's connected to the Xbox, it'll just start installing, whether you bought it or not. So it'll sit there, and it's good. So when you actually, even if you think, oh, tomorrow, you know what, I really want to play Elden Ring, but I don't own it yet, throw it on download, sleep on it, and if you still want to play it, you still want to buy it, it's sitting there. You haven't got to wait anymore. So that's, I don't know if anything's similar on PlayStation, but it's a mad thing if you buy physical games, particularly on release date, because that option is there. Well, whenever you could preload a game. So if a game's coming out next week, oftentimes the option is there to install the console. Again, I would recommend doing it at home in front of the Xbox because sometimes it's a bit hit or miss. So I do it when I do it, I'll have the Xbox on in front of me, looking at the settings of my games, my apps, and then I'll do it from there. But it is a good tip because it gives you the shits when you go out and purchase a game on disc and you bring it home and you're like, oh, I've got to install like 120 something gig. And depending on one's internet, that could take anywhere from 20 minutes to 20 hours. The only thing it doesn't do, I don't think it doesn't update it. So if there's a day one update, I think you might be fucked. But I could be wrong. Am I going to do reviews again? Probably not. Maybe. It's like when you're out of the zone, it's hard to... I challenge you guys to do this. Next game you play, pretend you're a YouTuber or video game journalist, or you just want to have an opinion about a game. Go into a game with that attitude. It's hard to really enjoy that because you're looking for problems. You're looking for things that good. If you're in a shit mood that day, like if I was to review, say, Call of Duty, and I just got romped and raped and killed the entire day on multiplayer, I'd be in a shit mood. This game sucks. There's nothing good about it. It's challenging to review a game, I think, objectively, and not only that, but it kind of ruins the experience. Like if you're taking, I don't know how people take notes or do stuff like that. Like, I think it's a good challenge to everyone. Go do a video game review. And then you've got the whole political aspect of like, well, am I reviewing this game for what it is, or am I pitting it up against something else? You know, if I'm playing FIFA 12, am I reviewing it for being FIFA 12? Am I reviewing it to being the predecessor to FIFA 11? I'm playing Assassin's Creed. What's another Assassin's Creed type game? Am I comparing it to that? It's difficult, and you can see it in the comments. It's interesting. And I could be really shit at a game and really hate it, and you could be really good and think it's the greatest thing ever. But it kills me. Like if you go and look at IGN reviews particularly, and you just go to the comments, which is what I do just for the lols, and say they give it an 8, the top comment more than often will be, I would have given it a 9, full stop. What does that mean? First of all, it's a game that hasn't come out yet, so there's a high chance you haven't played it. So yeah, honestly, go and give it a go. Just even if you just write it down in a notepad or a notepad on Windows, whatever, Word. Next game you play, there's a challenge. Review it. If you want to do out of 10, if you want to do out of 100, if you want to do thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever, go and do it. It's challenging. Because my thing was always reviewing it like if it pissed me off. That was always my thing, I think. And a lot of games, unfortunately, pissed me off. What do I think of Skill Up and Mortimal Gaming? The second one I've not heard of. Skill Up, if I'm correct, is the Aussie dude. And if so, is the one I'm thinking of. I like his reviews. Very good. Which gives me hope for, again, that long format video of old mate doing a 50-minute review as to opposed to a 30-second short. That's what I want to see. But in that 50 minutes, how much is... See, this is why reviews are shit too, because it's my personal or your personal experience with the game. Like, some things I think are objectively true or objectively false, but so much of like how you interpret that thing. Honestly, it's hard. Does 100% complete? Jesus Christ. I am watching a guy, he's another Aussie, and I hope he forgives me for not remembering his name, but he does trying to platinum every PlayStation game that he owns, and that's a really fun series to watch. Because it's one of those ones that he plays a lot of old games and he's shouting at the screen going, motherfucker, you just missed this trophy. What are you doing? And then he goes back and gets it in the end. But yeah, I do enjoy stuff like that. But yeah, go review ahead. It's like reviewing art. How the fuck do you review art? That's what it's about. But I think video games have the luxury of like some can just be shit. If you press A and it doesn't jump properly, shit. If the gun doesn't shoot properly, shit. But then you've got to be careful what you score it, because someone's going to comment and go, well, when you did a review of Call of Duty 10 years ago, you gave it an 8. So that's where the measuring stick is all of a sudden. But may I ask, does anyone here, would you purchase or not purchase a game based on a third-party review of something? And if so, who is that reviewer that you would trust? And another caveat to that question, do you ever disagree with that person or magazine or website or channel or whatever? That's what I find interesting, and that's what I found through my experience. You have people that are your biggest fans because you agree with them on Call of Duty 4, you agree with them on Bioshock, blah, blah, and then you have an opinion on Mafia 2 that they don't agree with, and like, this guy's a fucking idiot, fuck him, all his opinions are wrong, which I find very interesting, because I don't want, if I'm watching someone and I agree with them 100% on everything, then something to me is wrong. So watch reviews to make sure there are bugs or glitches that don't break the game. So that's interesting. Because, so what do you mostly play on then? I'm going to presume it's PC. I could be incorrect. Because if it's a console game, I feel like that gets brought up very quickly. Oh, PlayStation 5 and Switch 2. Okay, interesting. So do you have many reviews where they mention bugs or glitches? Because to me, bugs and glitches, at least on console, to me, I could be wrong, are quite rare. Unless they're from the usual suspects. Like if you're going to play a fucking, Bethesda game on day one, something's going to be wrong. But I could probably count on one hand the amount of like game-breaking bugs and glitches I've had in on console gaming, at least in the past generation anyway. PC gaming is a completely different monster, obviously. But then I suppose it depends on what you're playing too. Like if you're playing more maybe indie kind of games. So I more look at reviews, like if it's a big game that I know I'm going to play it anyway. When I go through every week or 2 weeks, I'll go through the Xbox store, PlayStation or PC store or whatever and see what's on sale. And if there's something that I like the look of, but maybe I've never really heard of it before, that's when I'll go to a review. Not to hear their thoughts or anything, just more to see the gameplay, to see if that's something that I would enjoy, which I have just done. And the name of this game, I have to look it up. Surely it's going to be on my Xbox app, is really annoying me. But this game is really good so far. And I paid, I think, $20 for it yesterday. And I've never really heard of it before. It is called, I can find the fucking thing. Oh, does anyone follow me on Xbox? They know what the hell I'm playing. Here we go. Sorry. It is called Echoes of the End Enhanced Edition, which I paid, I think, $20 for, which was, it's so far so good. Big God of War, which is, not going to complain. Never fucking heard of it before. And, let's go and watch some things to see the gameplay. All right, I'm going to go to the toilet again, and then I will be back. All right, sorry about that. Yes, Echoes of the End. That's the one. It looked. I never heard of it either, but it's so far so good. I probably put in maybe an hour and a half. I really need to start. I just again finished Vampire Masquerade 2, which is pretty good, and I also got for Christmas Hell Is Us. But I'm a little bit scared of that one not having a map. Oh, fucking Stalker, Shadow of Chernobyl 2 or whatever the hell, 3 or whatever it is. That I need to play as well. I played maybe 3 or 4 hours when it was on Game Pass and then kind of forgot about it. But that's on my list. Also, hopefully there's some good games this year. I saw the thing for Fable, which I swear I thought got cancelled, but that's still coming out, even though I didn't really enjoy it in the other Fables. But you have to have faith, or pandemonium is liable to walk upon the scene. Top Weeb, my man. What Japanese games are you playing? Total Tenant 3837, I make can't tune in properly, but delighted to see a video from you. My all-time favorite YouTube channel. Started watching back in 2010. Let New Vegas unboxing. Love you too. Thank you very much. I love all of you. It's weird. Did I get a Switch 2? I did not. I got the Switch 1, and I mentioned this earlier, and I apologize if you were already here, so you don't want to hear this again. But I'm over Nintendo, and I'm not over Nintendo. I apologize. I'm overspending $600, $700, $800 to play 2 or 3 games. Like Mario Odyssey, amazing. Legend of Zelda, amazing if you're into that. I really wasn't into it. What else did I play? Octopath Traveler, when that first came out. I know it's come back to Xbox and PlayStation or whatever. Really good. But, I'm not, no more. Because I'm not playing third party on a Nintendo. It's just not happening. So if I do the cost benefit analysis of what's each game that you have to buy, by the way, add that to the cost of the console, no. So Switch 2, maybe later in life if I want to play, Mario Kart, Donkey Kong. I'm going to presume there's going to be another Mario. And what's the cost of that? That would be my thing. Whereas at least if you get an Xbox, PC, or PlayStation, I feel like you have a lot more to pick from. But I'm happy to be wrong. I mean, I'm not aware of anyone really that plays third party. I mean, all my friends and people that I know that are hardcore, well, not hardcore gamers, but gamers of a sort, like the Switch is the Nintendo exclusive machine, which is fine. That's all I would really want it to be. But for me, the cost outweighs the benefit, if that makes sense. Have I thought about posting again? All the time. Just never get around to it. What is my career after? Hang on, sorry if you've answered, but what's the career you've ended up in post YouTube? I am in pornography. No, that's not true. I'm in banking, if that sounds fun. I've been told to say I work in finance because people assume that I work in a branch or I'm a teller. There's nothing wrong with, by the way. But I feel like if I say finance, it's a bit wanky. So no. Banking. Thoughts on the current... am I enjoying the Fallout TV series? I haven't finished it. That I'm a bit embarrassed by that. I got maybe through the first season halfway through, and I was so chuffed with it. I was well happy, like all the different references to the game, and then for some reason I just gave up. I'm not a watcher of things. TV and movies, I think my entire life have bored me. I think that's why I've been more into video games, because I've got that sense of control or impact. But I do need to finish Fallout. You're correct, and thank you for bringing it up, because The New Vegasy one, the second series, I believe that's what it is. It looks really cool. And it would be an injustice not to watch it. Same with The Last of Us. I didn't watch The Last of Us TV show either. Maybe that's something I should watch. But I just can't. I get bored. I watch something. Same if I go to the movies. I'm like, fuck, this is time that I could spend playing something. So yeah, not much of a watcher. Thoughts on the current state of gaming? Too long in between releases, too many remasters, not enough quality new IPs. I think you've just hit the nail on the head. I think now the cost of making stuff is so massive that if it's not guaranteed to be a hit, or you can't guarantee to make, treble your money back on online purchases, there's no fucking point. And that was my point. I think I've made 20 times tonight, is the death of AA games that I think held the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 era together. There's so many good bad games, if that makes any sense, or so many good budget games that just don't exist anymore. Or if they do, they're either complete dog shit or they never go on sale, so no one's ever going to play them. But it's crazy to me that with so much talent, so much technology, so much money, particularly on the Microsoft end, again, buying Activision for $80-something billion, that's bore no fruit. If anything, it's gone the other way, which everyone predicted, to be fair. But yeah, you think, I don't know, I think everyone wants a taste of the Fortnite money. And I don't think that's going to happen for a lot of people, a lot of studios. Ever consider bringing back the Mohawk? No, I haven't. I'm just happy for whatever little hair I have left. The worst game I played this generation. Oh, fuck. I don't know. Bad games now don't... I mean, there are bad games, but not really. I really want to play the Golem one, but I haven't played it. Worst game I played this generation. In recent memory, the new Call of Duty, like that fucking shit is horrid. Because now that this isn't, now that I don't really do the YouTube thing, I'm not forcing myself to kind of finish things. So like, if it's something I don't enjoy, I move on, so I don't really put myself through it. But the worst game, I'm trying to, maybe disappointing. Saints Row would be up there, and that hurts me to say, because Saints Row is my favorite series fucking of all time. That hurts. So Saints Row would be up there. What else? I think Saints Row would probably be it, if I can be honest. How was the COVID pandemic for you? Crazy that it's already been 6 years. It is crazy it's been 6 years. The COVID pandemic, actually, for me, and I don't like saying it because I know that so many billions suffered and are still, suffering the effects of it. But it was great for me. I landed a solid new job at the time. I'm unsure from where you are from, geographically speaking, but I live in a town an hour and a half, 2 hours away from the biggest city in the country, which is where all the cool jobs and great jobs are. But because the COVID thing happened, I got to work from home. I got to do that job from home. Didn't have to travel. It was great. Took advantage of that. Then leapfrogged that into a job where I currently live. Went on a mad diet, which I've put most of the weight back on now, but it was great. I was like a pig in shit. But yeah, that was my pandemic. It is crazy to think it was that long ago, actually, because it still feels like tomorrow. Do I still have the posters from the poster wall? I have some of them in my garage at the moment. I've still got the massive big Halo. Oh, fuck. Halo 4 poster that's been signed by all the developers. I'm hoping one day it'll be worth a bit of money. But yeah, it's massive. It's in a tube of probably about 2 meters long. I don't know if I ever showed it off, but yeah, I've got a big Halo. I swear it's 4, signed by all the developers. But other than that, I don't think I have any other ones. I also had one. No, they would have all went in the bin. Rip. Yeah. Do I miss the YouTube days? I think I do. I don't think I missed the YouTube. I missed the I missed the era. It was like the Wild West. It was just beautiful. But now it's like it's just different. It's not what it used to be. I think probably because I was younger, like at the height of the YouTube thing, I was maybe, early 20s. So I had a lot more time, and it was like the Wild West. No one knew what the fuck we were doing. We were just uploading stupid videos and making a shit ton of money off it. And it was fun, but then it kind of just petered out, which is such a sadness. And you can see a bunch of other YouTubers, now myself probably included, trying to, grab on and not let the past go. But yeah, those are the good old days. It was good that you could do a video and render it out and then upload it, and within maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, at least for me, you could read through like 30, 40, 50 comments. I missed that more than anything, I think. Because there was a good quote. I think was it Dave Grohl? I think it was Dave Grohl. Because obviously my channel was nothing big. But I used to get maybe a couple of thousand views a video, which was mad. And I think Dave Grohl, I swear it was Dave Grohl, correct me if I'm wrong, but he said, if you play music to 10 people, you're a rock star. And that quote's always stuck with me. Like, if you could put those 10 people, or those couple of thousand people in my case, in a room, they're there to listen and hear and interact with you. And that's what I miss, I think, more than anything. It didn't have to be 1 million people. It didn't have to be 10 million people. It didn't have to be 20,000 people. It was just like the 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 comments was like, if you can imagine those people in a room, that's cool. Like, you've made it. And I think that's true. And I think so many people now, or at least before I couldn't be bothered doing this shit anymore, they weren't happy with that. They wanted the 20 million views a video and all that shit. So yeah, I think I missed that part. And if I had been hitting the gym, definitely not. No. I think as I just get older and fatter, that's probably what that is. Very muscular. You must be pretty good at your job to be sporting that facial hair. Thank you. I'd like to think I'm pretty good at my job. It's a conversation. It's a talking point more than anything. Am I a craft beer man? I certainly am. Not as much lately. I've gone off the beer lately. But last time I went to, again, I'm unfamiliar with where you are in the world, but I went to Mountain Culture Brewery, and that was like 10 out of 10. Just slowly worked my way down the taps. And I'm going in the middle of February. So if anyone lives in Melbourne or Hobart, let me know, because I will be there and go to the pub or something. What's in the can? I found this today, a hard solo thing, but it's lemon and mango flavor. Not terrible, it's different. Grifter, I've been to. Bob Hawke's one, I've not been to. Also in Marrickville, I very much like the Batch Brewing. That's a good one. I don't know if it's still there. I'm going back a couple of years. And is it Sauce? That one up the road in the weird big warehouse thing. I like Sauce. That's what that. If you're in Marrickville or Newtown, like, you peaked for brewing. Like, you go to the Union on the corner down there in St. Peter's. Best pub. But up there, Batch would probably be my favorite. Like the Batch American Pale Ale. Fuck, that's going back probably 10 years now since I had that, but that was really good. And I've been there a couple of times since. But Grifter is good. Last time I was there, they had a big taco van out the front, which was really good. Can't say I've ever been to Brisbane. I've been to Brisbane Airport, but not Brisbane itself, which is a shame. I'd love to go to Brisbane. I've been to the Gold Coast. But yeah, Brisbane, no. Nine when you first found you. Oh my God. I hope you didn't. Well, I hope I taught you some words at least. 26 now. See, that makes me feel old. I'm 33 now. I'll be 34 this year. And from Norway. Thank you very much. See, that's another thing I kind of miss is like connecting from people all around the world, because I feel like you live in a bubble, geographically speaking, particularly if you live where I live. You know, everyone you work with is in the same city. But to be able to connect from people from Norway, I've met great people from obviously the States, the UK, England, Japan. There was one guy I had from Japan, and he would try and speak English, and I'd try and speak Japanese. It was just fucking disaster. But we gave it a go. I've got Norway, actually, Color Dude 13. Funny enough, I did the genetics, the geology thing where you send your spit away. And like, I'm obviously so white. So I think I was like 33% Irish, 33% Scottish, 32% English, but I was 1% Norwegian, which I was very proud of. And I think because the Vikings went over to the UK and just raped part of my family at some point. But I'm happy, you know, I'm supporting that. I'm happy with that. So yeah, I think it was cool because my mum did it as well. And she just got the 33 and a third for everything. It was just Irish, Scottish, English, but I had the 1% Norwegian, and I'm pretty proud of that. I think that was the time I was playing Assassin's Creed. Oh, what's the Viking one called? Is it called Ragnarok? No, I don't think it is. Anyway, I was playing that at the time, so it was very fitting. So I have part Norwegian. Quarter finish. Oh, very nice. Can't say I've got finish. I'd love to head up there one day if I could ever be. Valhalla, that's it. Thank you. Yeah, I'd love to head to the Scandinavia. See, this is the problem with living in Australia. It's like I feel like you can't travel without doing all of it at once because it's so fucking far to go. Like if I was to go to Europe, I feel like I'd have to go to every country and every city in Europe to do it properly because I'm not traveling fucking 24 hours on an airplane not to do all of it. So if I went to Scandinavia, I'd have to do all of it. And the amount of money that would cost, you wouldn't be able to afford it. It is a 6-week minimum. It's ridiculous. Like, obviously, I've been to Fiji and stuff like that, but those are like islands off Australia, maybe, and even that was 4 hours. And I don't sit well on an airplane because I'm quite tall. But like New Zealand, maybe Indonesia, but everything else, I feel like to make the flight worth it. Because when I went to America, and I went straight from Sydney to New York, but you have to stop in LA. I think I was on the airplane for like fucking 26 hours. I'm like, just give me death. But then I was there for 3 weeks, so it kind of made up for it. But then the flight back was ridiculous. But no, you even to come to Australia, if you come to Australia, first of all, let me know. We'll go to the pub. But second of all, why? It's so far away. It's so expensive. And we only really have something in the big metropolitan areas that I think you would know to do. Like as an Aussie, I know not to go to fucking, like I would know where to go outside the cities. But if you're here, you know, from Finland, you're not going to go anywhere besides Sydney and Melbourne, are you? First of all, because we drive on the wrong side of the road, so good luck to you. Yeah, Sydney to New York was rough. I thought I could do it. So for context, I'm 6'5", 196 centimeters, I think it is. And my mate at the time was a travel agent. And I said, I don't give a fuck how much this costs. I don't care. Get me on the flight. Get me in the emergency row. I will pay for it. Anyway, I ended up paying, I think, $300-something each way. Best $300-something I've spent in my life, because there's no way I'd be able to do that in like a normal seat. It was cooked, because it was Sydney to New York, but in America, at least then, I don't know if it's the same way now, they make you go through customs at your first landing. So I think this was before you could fly directly to Dallas. So we went to LA, which was 14 hours, got off the airplane, went through all the security, then went back on the same airplane, funnily enough. And I think it's 6 hours across the continental United States. So it's just horrid. If you're going to go to New York from Australia, go to Hawaii or LA for like 2 days. That's all you need. And just stand up. But yeah, and then coming back, I went from Washington, D.C. to LA. Again, didn't stop at LA, or didn't get out. Didn't stay in LA. So I went domestic. That was another 6 hours. Back on a different airplane, LA to Sydney, which is shorter, I think, by an hour. But fuck, it was a disaster. But then when I went to Fiji, that was, I think, 5 hours in an airplane, and I sat just in the normal seat, and like by the end of it, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. This is ridiculous. I'm flying again in February. That'll be fun. Got to have a couple of drinks at the airport bar, no matter what time of day it is. Those are the rules. No, I don't sleep on an airplane either. Particularly because I got the middle seat. So everyone had their little, and I was just like, like the T-Rex. And then when we were coming into Sydney, the girl next to me, she must have had a hot date straight off the plane, because I swear by the time we were over like the Polynesian islands, so about 6 hours to go, her makeup bag came out, and like I'm not allowed to take that much water on board, but she had every makeup available, and I couldn't breathe. Just the scent of everything she was putting on was crazy. Anyway, good luck to her. England to Mexico. That's fun. I'd love to go to Mexico. I'd really like to go to like Caribbean, because I love cigars and I love rum. But again, it's so far away. It's a blessing and a curse to be born in this great country. It's great because you live here, but it's a curse if you want to go fucking anywhere else. I've not been to New Zealand, but I would imagine New Zealand is very similar to here. So besides that, now I don't really want to go to Bali. Fuck, even going to Western Australia. I'd love to go to Western Australia. I've not been to Western Australia yet, but even that, I think that's 6 hours on an airplane. I wouldn't drive it, that's for sure. I've driven to Melbourne once. That was 9 hours in a car on to get back. But I got to stop at the big submarine in Tobruk, which is pretty cool. No, is it Tobruk? Tobruk? What's it called? Someone will fact check me there. It's on the border somewhere. Holbrook, that's it. Thank you. There's a nice pub right on the corner, and I walked in because I look like this, and they were just fucking staring at me like, "You're not from around here, are you?" I was like, "No." Melbourne to Athens. Couldn't do it. Well, because I'm going on a trip in February to Melbourne and then to Hobart, and I didn't book it, and I was so stressed we're going to get put on fucking Jetstar, but we're going Qantas. So it's like, oh, thank God. First of all, I can take luggage. And second of all, the Qantas terminal at Sydney Airport is pretty good from memory. I think they got the Cooper's Bar. And I'm not above having a beer at 6:30 in the morning. It's at the airport. I think there's 2 occasions when it's okay to drink piss at any hour of the day. 1, if you're wearing high vis, and 2, if you're at an airport. If you're wearing high vis at an airport, you can get fucked up for free, as far as I'm concerned. But I haven't been to Melbourne in years. Melbourne I really like. I feel like I'm boring everyone. Does anyone have any mad questions? Or have we gone on too long? British tradition have a pint at Spoons in the airport, regardless. Isn't Spoons I thought that was a breakfast place, or I could be wrong. When's the next generic Jeff video? Oh, mate. Talk about lightning in a bottle. That was the most unprepared video I think I've ever made. Need to split the G. Isn't that a misnomer? Isn't that like a modern hipster thing to do? Planning on making videos again? Maybe. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to make any promises. Wetherspoons is a pub that serves shit food. Yeah, no shortage of those here either, don't worry. Where should I go if I'm visiting Australia for the first time? Oh, see, that's a good question. First of all, if you're from Norway, I'd bring sunscreen. You might melt. It depends what you want to do, really. What do you want? Do you want to see things? Do you want to experience things? Do you want to eat and drink things? No, I wouldn't go to Mount Druitt unless you're carrying. I mean, like Sydney, you can't go wrong because it's got all the cliche things. But Sydney's, I mean, to someone who lives here, fuck, I don't like Sydney. But I suppose, if you lived in New York, you probably don't like fucking New York either. Experience culture and nature. Well, I would go nature. You got to go Blue Mountain. So that's 3 hours south of Sydney. I'd go there. That's pretty good. So you see like the cold and rainy part of Australia, and then you'd want to go, if you want to see the hot part, you've got to go Uluru. I'd go that way. So you see the big rock, and then see all the flies, and you get to see all the crocodiles. Queensland, you've got the rainforest. Or come to Wollongong and we'll get fucked up. I think I'm about half an hour away from kangaroos and koala bears. I shouldn't have said koala bears. Sorry, they're not bears. Culture, that's an interesting one. Culture, Australian culture. Got to go to Bunnings and have a sausage sizzle. That doesn't mean anything to you now, but I promise you, if you come, it'll mean a lot. I have to have a meat pie and a sausage roll at the beach. What else would you have to do? You'd have to drink wine out of a bag from a clothesline. What else do we do? We don't really do much else. Get swooped at a bus stop, yeah. Harass people on the train while playing really loud rap music on a speaker when you could have just brought fucking headphones. That's Aussie. What else do we do? Swear a lot. But yeah. I feel like you'd have a lot to do, and the problem is because it's so big and so different. It's kind of like a video game map, ironically, that you've got like the desert area, the rainforest area, the metropolitan area, it's so big that to do it'd be hard, I think. You'd have to have a VB long neck, 20 to 8 in the fucking morning. That's for sure. That's if you're a fair dinkum fucking full-grown Aussie. I hope people understand that reference. You have to play the pokies. I have to go to the pub and slap $20 in the machines. Fish and chips, you have to get some of those. A couple of calamari rings. Oh, dim sim, you have to get some of those. Go surfing, yeah, I think you could do that. No sharks though. Still yet to see a shark in the water. No, you wouldn't move for surfing. It's weird living here. People live their entire life without seeing a beach, and I've lived like 30 seconds away from a beach my entire life. It's weird. It's weird what you take for granted. And that's some of the best beaches in the world. But no, anyone and everyone always welcome. And if you do come, let me know. We'll go to Sydney, or we'll go to the breweries or the Opera House. The Opera House is a bit overrated, so is the Bridge. But it's one of those things. It's like when I went to New York, you have to go see the Empire State Building. You have to go see the Statue of Liberty. I'm sure to the people that live there, it's old hat. But, Or go to Sydney, get the train down to Wollongong, where I am, an hour and a half, 2 hours. Go to Dicey Riley's, the Irish pub, get in a fight. Do I watch much YouTube? Yes and no. I was speaking to this earlier about long form content. I'm not one for I don't have TikTok or any of that, the YouTube reels or whatever they're called, Instagram reels. I'm a long form content watcher. So I'm going to give you some recommendations. If you're into video games, this is going to be hard because they stopped making the podcast probably 10 years ago, but NoobTube, NoobToob. About an hour and 5 minutes an episode, and they review all and every video game you could imagine, probably between maybe 2005 and 2012, and then they gave it up. But it's one of those ones where, and that's what I always had the envision for my content to be, is if you have a phone or a laptop or a tablet, you put it on and then you go and play a game, and it's like in the background. That's that kind of thing. So I'd recommend that. And then I just watch a bunch of like philosophical and religious debate kind of stuff. So Matt Delahunty, Alex O'Connor. Who else? There's more. There's more, but I can't remember. But that's the kind of stuff that I watch. I like to do documentaries, but now like the YouTube thing, you can't say like murder and killed or drugs. Like some of the documentaries on YouTube I've watched, the sentence will be nothing but beeps, and it's like, what the fuck has happened here? And it's like the sentence just contained he was high on drugs and killed and raped, and you're like, would never have known. But yeah, besides that kind of stuff, I'm trying to think video game wise. Skill Up, obviously, I watched that. Crobcab, I can never get his name right. I watch that whenever he bothers to upload a video similar to me. Yeah, that's really all I kind of watch. Nothing too exciting. Is it mad hot there all the time? It's winter here in Norway now, a lot of snow and cold. No, it's not hot all the time. The Sunday, it was 41 degrees. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but it was really fucking hot. It's not been hot here, I think, at least where I live, for a couple of years, like really hot. I remember growing up, it was always fucking hot in summer. So obviously we're in summer now, but today it's cold. The other day it was cold and windy and raining. If you want to see snow in Australia, you definitely can. I've never seen snow in my life, but you can. But yeah, at least where I am, and I think luckily it's not been too hot, because when it was hot a couple of years ago, half the country went up in flames. But where I live, because I'm close to the ocean, it'll be really hot all day and then very humid, like disgustingly humid. And then maybe like 5, 6, 7 o'clock at night, the wind comes from the south and it's cold. And it's great. And you go and sleep outside if you want to because it's too fucking hot inside. But yeah, cold, I don't understand cold. Like cold to me would be like 20 degrees. Like that's jumper weather. And then when I went to the Northern Territory, it was even fucking worse. It was like so hot and sticky and disgusting. Same with Fiji. But here where I am, like it can get really hot, but it doesn't stay really hot. Whereas when I was in Adelaide, it was 40 something. So here it gets really cold, not cold, but it cools down at night, which is really handy. But whereas where I was in Adelaide, which is the capital of South Australia, it's a dry heat. So it was 40 something degrees during the day. And then at night, it's still 40 something fucking degrees because it didn't cool down. And that I'm not used to. That was disgusting. So that's what it's like. Depends where you go in Australia. Censorship on YouTube is so out of control. Well, see, I don't know if it's YouTube censorship or people censoring themselves to fit in a guidelines to make money. And that's, I think, a lot of, I don't like that. I'm not going to edit myself. I think free speech is a beautiful thing. There we go. That's the operative word. But what annoys me is it's like, if you want to say some racist or homophobic or whatever stuff and you get banned from the platform or censored, that's fine. I've got no issue with that. But if instead of, like, when you're talking about video games, like, you know, obviously a lot of video games are violent. You're going to say, oh, yeah, you go through this level, kill these enemies, blah, blah, blah. But if you change that language from kill a bunch of enemies to unalive a bunch of enemies, it's the same fucking word. It's the same thing. It means the same thing. That to me is bullshit. And that I could never get behind any of that. And if I hear that shit, exit the video. I'm done. No. Like, if you don't want to say, like I said, if you say racist or homophobic stuff and you get ban-hammered from the platform, great. I love that. But don't just replace words with something that is the same word but just said differently. Ridiculous. Can't be done with that unalive stuff, and then it's embarrassing. Well, it is George Carlin on the software, but the problem is it's not even this. It's unalive means kill. It's the same fucking thing. The definition of the word is the same. That's what annoys me. It doesn't make sense. If you want to say, okay, you can't say kill, okay, I think that's fucking stupid, but fine. So that means that any derivative of that you also can't say. Like, if you say you can't say homophobic stuff, fine, but then you can't say homophobic stuff under the guise of a different word. It's the same thing. It's stupid. And like, that's an effort I could never be bothered to do. Did I move house? I did. Many, many, many years ago. It's my new setup, or lack thereof. I watch a lot of history content, and if you want to talk about absolutely. Same. I was talking before about I watch documentaries on YouTube, and like there are some sentences that it's just beep, 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 and you're like, what the fuck did they just say? Like, if you're talking about like World War II and you want to talk about Hitler, you need to talk about Hitler. There's going to be a bunch of like, you know, if you're going to play those games, there's going to be a bunch of words you can't say, but what's the fucking point? Did I make videos about free speech back in the day? That's concerning. I probably would have had a very basic knowledge of it. But as I stand at the moment, I feel like a bit of a free speech absolutionist. It's probably not the right way to be, but I'm willing to learn. But yeah, I don't know. And I think for me, you can kind of tell a person from their language and what they're really really into. But the problem with like YouTube, at least back in the day, is, and I'm evidence of this, it was like the Wild West. We would say fucking anything and everything and no one gave a shit. Like the worst homophobic, derogatory, like, you know, like the worst words. Now, but back then it was just common parlance, wasn't it? But that stuff I've got no problem with. Like if it's, you know, if it's hate speech, fine. But like kill, when talking about video, it really annoys me. I'm sorry. But it, like unalive, it's the same. It's the same fucking word. Really, if you break it down. Oh, Kuta Swamp Grass. There you go. There's a blast from the past. One of my many characters. Those are the days. I miss kind of doing shit like that. And that was completely off the cuff. I think that comes from being young and watching, you know, like Whose Line Is It Anyway, Faulty Towers, Monty Python, Kenny vs. Benny, you know, all those funny character kind of comedy shows, and thinking like, I could be a character. But yeah, none of it was planned or scripted or written. Same with Generic Jeff. None of that was scripted or written. And then old mate fucking ripped my entire thing off. Good luck to him. I've not forgotten. See, Eric 2025, this is okay. This is starting to annoy me now. I've had so many people come in and go, I was 12, I was 15. Must be nice. Now that you're 26, now that you're 22, now that you're 28. Fucking hell, I've never felt so old in my life. But thank you, nonetheless. Much appreciated. I wouldn't advise anyone watching me at 12 years old, particularly back in the day, unhinged. Well, see, the Kieran law is concerning because, again, I never watched edited. Well, I edited myself in the sense of put an intro fade in and a fade out at the end, and maybe equalize the audio levels. That was all my editing. So I don't know what I said because I never watched myself. I couldn't. I think Johnny Depp's the same. He doesn't watch his own acting. I could never. I don't like the sound of my own voice. I don't like looking at myself. There is no way I could watch and listen to myself, 10 to 15 minutes, a couple of times a week. So I don't know what the fuck I said. I don't know what the fuck I did. But I'm lucky in the fact that I was just voicing my opinion. So I can confidently say what they were. But there's all this weird shit that just keeps popping up that I've got no fucking clue about. How old am I? I'll be 34 this year, which is depressing. 33 at the moment. Oh yeah, video games make violent people. This is an interesting. This is to my point. I don't know what I said in that video about whether video games create violent people, but I know for a fact my opinion has not changed. So I can confidently think what I said in that video. And I bet I made a point about, people play FIFA and they don't go out and be professional soccer players. I bet that was in there. And I think that's a luxury of like being convicted in one's thoughts. But no, Marcus and I were still very good friends. He's still around. Oh, we're the same age. Congratulations, 92 baby. Best year of the monkey, I think. Although I could be wrong. And also, I don't even like watching my own stuff. Like there was one time where I'm like, oh fuck, let's go have a look. Because I used to get comments about stuff, and I'm like, oh, I still get comments now that fucking Red Dead Redemption remaster. I get comments on videos from 16 years ago where I did a video about like, oh, where to find a snake skin, blah blah blah. And it's like, oh, 20 years later, this video is still thing. I used to get comments on old videos, and I'd go and watch them, and I'm like, this is so cringe. And then I would make them private because I'm like, I don't want anyone else to see this. So there's a bunch of shit probably no one's ever seen. But just to see myself, I was so young, so skinny, I had the world at my feet, had a lot more hair. And, and now it's just like, oh, fuck, now, if I could rewind the clock, probably wouldn't do anything differently, but it would be a nice option. It's weird to see, like, if you could imagine watching yourself grow up is kind of what it is. I mean, it's a luxury and a curse, I think, but it's interesting. And I'm sure in 10 years I'll watch this back and go, oh, for God's sake. But it's fun. And it's a good little memory tool. It's kind of like the Animus from Assassin's Creed. You can watch a video of yourself and you can go, okay, I know where I was. I know what I was thinking. I know what was going in my life, going on in my life at that point. But the problem is I just can't fucking watch it because it's unbearable. Which again, it always freaks me out that the fact that one person even bothered to watch any of my shit. And I thank each and every one of you. And if I could buy you all a beer, I would. But it's, yeah. And that's what I think really annoys me now. I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here. Of people from the old YouTube days, particularly in the Call of Duty community, that now are on the back end, and this is probably all they have left, and like see their audience as just like take it for granted and just see them as a dollar sign or a number. And that makes me depressed because I feel like now that I've said it, I'm like, you guys, some of you at least, have grown up with me and seen, and that's, to take that for granted, I think is such a shame. And I am definitely guilty of that. So yeah, like I've seen, like, I don't want to name drop, but like some of the Wings of Redemption stuff, I've seen like a lot of that. I think that's maybe what I'm talking about. But like, to not have that gratitude, whether it's one person, two people, a million, I mean, how cool is that? It's a bit scary because some of you might probably know a little bit more about myself than I actually do. And sometimes it's a bit scary that you'll have someone go, oh, no, you said, remember when you said this? And it's like, I don't know what the fuck I said then. That's cool. Now the dog's kicking off. Something must be outside. Possum. All right, my friends, I'm going to grab another drink and go to the toilet. I shall return. Again, unfortunately, I don't know how to turn my microphone or camera off, so I will present you with this room until I return. Oh, God. Right, what have I missed? Thank you for hanging around. I'd love to hear your opinion on the modern gaming industry. Some rants would be epic. Well, what industry is there? It's kind of slowly dying in the arse, isn't it? I think that's a bit of a trap that I fell into, is like being the one who went on angry rants, instead of being able to appreciate something. And not that it's a character, because I definitely felt all those things, but I feel like it was a bit of a trope. Like, how many different YouTube channels were there where like they were just angry at shit all the time? And maybe that, it's interesting being retrospective, because you don't want to be known for like one thing, because when you don't do that one thing, then no one likes it, do they? And my rant on EB Games, I will never take back, and I will go to my grave defending. I hear they're going out of business in New Zealand, which I don't like. I don't like people to lose their jobs. I would like, maybe people higher up in EB Games to lose their jobs, but not the shit kickers in the stores. Yeah, I've seen their merch store. Zing. And it annoys me because they got some pretty cool shit, but I could never bring myself to, no, sorry. It's just a fight I will never give up. Yeah, fucking EB Games. Hopeless. Wonder what ever happened to Oz Game Shop. Hopefully they're still cooking. Have I delved much into the indie roguelike realm, considering the state of 8? Well, if it presents itself on Game Pass, which a lot of them have, to be fair, yes. But again, I think the AA game is a dying thing, which is such a sadness because again, like I've been saying all night, it held up the best generation in gaming, which was the 360 and the PlayStation 3 era. But yeah, and now not so much. I think if you go to the Xbox store, I'm assuming the PlayStation store, and I'm assuming Steam's always been this way. You've got your big AAA shit, and then just shovelware crap. There's some AA, and I've been playing a lot more recently, which I was saying before. Vampire Masquerade, I would count. Hell Is Us, and that bloody other one that I forgot the name of, which I'm sure someone will remember me of, that I've just played. Banisher, that was a good one. That was on Game Pass as well. There was another one on Game Pass where you had wristbands, like bangles that were guns. Oh my God, what is it? And it was so good, and I really loved that. And that was more, I would think, AA. Oh, it's really going to annoy me because I really want people to play that game, and I cannot remember what the hell it was called. But you had like bangles, and they were like one was sharp, and that was like red energy. Oh, it's on Game Pass. Someone will get the Immortals. That's it. Thanks, Wardo. That's the one. That is a good game. If you've not played that, go and play it. But it, as opposed to roguelike, maybe not that genre, but of that realm, probably, yes. Because I feel like a lot of roguelites are Metroidvania, and Metroidvania fucking annoy me. Because if I play a Metroidvania and I'm in like the first level, but I know I need a special ability to get up here that I'm not going to get till 6 hours in the game, I can't. I lose focus. I'm like, no. I need to get this fucking thing now. Otherwise, I'll forget it. And I think, what was the last game where that really hit me? I think it was Banishers. Because there was a bunch of shit where I couldn't do. Anyway, I ended up beating the game, but yeah. And yes, too many games are Souls-like. At least they were. I think maybe it's petered out a little bit now. I could be wrong. Mr. Tommy on tour. I'm also almost 40. Well, give me 7 years, but I'm going to get there, brother. Am I still a Coca-Cola addict? No. Well, yes, but I've moved to Coke No Sugar. It took me a while, but eventually it was a very easy switch, and it mixes with rum. Very nice. But no, when I was a teenager, fucking hell. I look at this is another thing, like I said, with YouTube. Like, it's the history of my life. I look back at my old videos where I was like 14, 15, 16, 17, stick skinny, and all I ate was McDonald's, chicken schnitzel burgers, hot chips, and full sugar Coke. Just by the litre. I remember once Mum when she went to shopping, she would get the 30 block, so like 30 cans, and I would go through that like it was no one's business. And I'd have to walk up in the morning to the service station, petrol station, and get the big 2-litre bottles and bring them home because I was like needing it. It's great. But I don't know how I maintain that nice teenager physique. God, if I could rewind the clock. And rum, yes. I think I like Dead Man's Fingers. This is going to be a rum shopping list. Dead Man's Fingers, that's a good one, which I think is from the UK. So I'd recommend that, and that comes in a bunch of different flavours. Red Leg, which I also think is from the UK, weirdly enough. And then there's a couple of Aussie ones in there that I also like. Eric, it is my pleasure. Look at that. See how times change? It's good to see you again too, mate. Thank you very much. Good luck at work tomorrow. I've also got to go to work tomorrow. Can't be bothered, but we'll see how that goes. Thank you, M. Verks. It's also good to see that you are all still alive and kicking also. Sorry, I'm not very good at reading out these usernames. See, whiskey and Coke. I like whiskey. I prefer, if I'm going to have whiskey, I'd have a nice whiskey straight. No, it's not a mixer anymore for me. Maybe when I was younger. Thank you, Cheese. See if it'll come up. His name is Witcher, funnily enough. Witcher. No, he's been shy at the moment. Can't be fucked going to work tomorrow. Yeah, neither can I. Still following the Denver Nuggets. See, this is what I mean. People remember this shit about you that I did, that I forget. No, not anymore. I've switched pretty quickly. I went for the Denver Nuggets for a little bit of time when Carmelo Anthony was there, and then pretty much straight away I went for the San Antonio Spurs. I've been going for them for probably the past 15 years. So it was a great time to be a San Antonio Spurs supporter. Then it was the drizzling shits. Now it's getting a little bit better, so we can only hope. But no, I go for the Hawks these days. More into the local basketball than I am the NBA. Oh, Wemby's just a genetic freak. It's not even fair. He's a bit skinny though, and that scares me about a lot of 7-footers, like how skinny they are. I feel like that when they jump, they're going to land and like snap a leg. So what's the plan moving forward, Big Dog? There's no plan. I can comfortably say I felt like doing this and I decided to do it. I feel like that's probably where it's going to go. If I feel like doing something, I'll do it. If that makes any sense. See, Cheese, this is what scares me. I have not thought about the video where my mate in a wheelchair and I are munted, and there was someone put a spoon in a poker machine and it blocked our winning coins from coming out. I have not thought about that probably since the day it happened, and you've somehow remembered it, 18, 15 years later? Because that was in the awkward page at the space of my YouTube career where it was like, okay, I'm going to share some real life shit because I'm, So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I haven't thought about that in a while. It's crazy what people remember. Oh, Generic Jeff is alive and well. I don't think he would be very up to date with the new tactics of YouTube. But that was lightning in a bottle. Is it managed to do a million views yet? Last time I checked, it was years ago, and it was sitting about 920,000 views. I've never had a million view video. I've just for the sake of it. I don't think it has. Let me see if I can have a look. It has been so long since I've used YouTube on a desktop. I don't even know how to use the fucking thing. Let me have a look. One sec. My channel. I presume it'll come up. Oh, 918,000 views. Fuck's sake. You're about what? 80,000 views away. That's all right. One day. Do I remember my hair tutorial? I do. That was because I thought it would be funny to put mascara. Was it mascara or eyeliner on as a mustache? That's probably still up there somewhere. Thoughts on the current video game landscape? Oh, mate. I don't know. I'm hopeful. because I think that's really all you can be. I think long gone are the days of banger after banger after banger after banger, and now I think we have to be a lot more patient. I don't think every video game has to be a 100-hour epic, but unfortunately, I think that's what the industry is mandating. I don't know. I do have hope, although I can see the downward shift of great games. And I was explaining, talking at this at great length before. It's like the 360 and PlayStation 3 generation was just the apex, and we're all still coming off that high, I think. I miss my rants as well. I kind of enjoy going on an absolute rampage about something I'm passionate about. But towards the end, though, you kind of find it. You kind of have to find things to be annoyed about, and I think that's where it died in the arse. As opposed to being organic, that just became something you had to do. So you would look for problems, and maybe those rants weren't as organic. But no, Wardo, you're right. Like some games, you don't need to be 100-hour slogs. You want just like maybe you want replayability. So like if you want like a platforming game, you could probably beat in a couple of hours, but you could replay it 100 times. But so many games now is like I feel like they have to be that big. And if they're not that big, they have to have this massive online portion that may not be good, but it's going to sell a bunch of fucking, costumes. Generic Jeff is still alive, unfortunately. Xbox 360 does seem like a lifetime ago. I think I'm just reliving the golden days, like COD 4. I was watching a video of just the sounds of Modern Warfare, and just the sound of when people joined the lobby. And I made that boom boom, like the dopamine in my body was just insane. And I feel like part of me is like, I wish I could get that again, and like what are kids but maybe that's what people experience now with like Fortnite. I hope it's not. And again, so much of being retrospective is like trying not to be old man yells at cloud, but unfortunately that's just what I am at this point. Like the good old days are gone and they're not coming back, and there's a certain beauty in that, but you know what I mean. Thoughts on the Assassin's Creed series? I can't believe we finally got one in Japan and they fucked it. Like, I thought it was serviceable, but I liked what was the mini one? I don't want to say mini one, but it was definitely a smaller scale one where they were in Baghdad. Mirage? That was a good one. Because Assassin's Creed, the Egyptian one and the Greek one was just so fucking big that it was, I can't get into this at all. It's too much. And then Mirage came along and was like, okay, this is a small scale. I can do this. Great. No, Valhalla. That was before that. Actually, Valhalla I liked. I played that one all the way through. But yeah, I also played, not Origin, sorry. Shadows through from start to finish, but I skipped all the cutscenes. I wasn't paying any attention to that. That became a podcast game. That became a game where like I've got my iPad on the side watching the cricket or something. That was just like going from point A to point B. And yeah, the lobby music in Call of Duty 4, I've got a new playlist on my Spotify of video game soundtracks. And I've just added en masse, like all the Call of Duty ones, all the Battlefield ones, And I was in the car the other day driving at work, and the one from Black Ops, the lobby music from Black Ops came on. I just sat there. I'm like, it was like this rush of emotions. It's like, holy fuck! Like, this is just all these memories just came flooding back. And I'm hoping that's maybe what Arc Raiders can be, because maybe I need that, because I haven't played multiplayer games really in probably since Modern Warfare 3. To my own detriment, I think. Because as you get older, obviously, it's harder to get people together. It's hard to keep them together. You know, you live with other people. You can't yell and swear and scream and vice versa. It's tricky. But yeah, just that one, it's just in the car. It was just like this overwhelming, like, holy fuck. I saw isn't it all but confirmed, the remaster for Black Flag? I'll play it again. I'm not going to be happy about playing it again, but I will play it again. Because I quite like Black Flag. I'm not a big fan of the ship combat, although I never have been, because I think the ship combat is just a manifestation of dogfighting in like airplane games, which I also fucking hate. But no, didn't like it. But Assassin's Creed Black Flag as a whole, was probably one of the better Assassin's Creeds. But yeah, Mirage, I liked Mirage. Mirage was good because it was definitely needed to go from fucking these massive, big, just Odyssey and whatever the hell the Egyptian one, Origins, I think it was called, was just too big. It was nuts. And I love Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed 2 would easily probably be in my top 10 games of all time. Like, Assassin's Creed 2 is perfect. Well, as perfect as one can get. And so, really Revelations as well, because that's just an add-on. But yeah, and I did play Pirate Yakuza. That was just dumb fun. That was hilarious. I love Pirate Yakuza. Got all the achievements. Don't be impressed. Yeah, I think maybe I'm looking at Black Flag with rose-tinted glasses, because I saw they did the remaster for Assassin's Creed 3, and I remembered straight away all the eavesdropping and hiding in bushes that then all of a sudden you just got found for no reason. And I'm like, I'm not fucking playing this again. So maybe I'm thinking of Black Flag with, again, rose-tinted glasses. Although I could be wrong, but I would... I'm just trying to think, because it is ingrained in my memory. Black Flag was probably one of the better ones. Although I could be wrong. See, now you're making me question myself. See, Battlefield 6 multiplayer, I gave a go. I tried anyway, but I realized that I just kept getting put in lobbies with bots. I didn't really know what I was doing wrong, and I don't really like multiplayer anyway, so I beat the single player and then uninstalled it. But I still have it, so maybe if it's, if I need to give it a second crack, let me know. But yeah, I would just do quick matchmaking, whatever it was, and I would just be bots. And I knew it was bots because I'd be like on a 50 kill streak, and I'm like, okay, something weird's going on here. So I don't know, maybe if it was just the time of day, or maybe my internet is shit or something. But yeah, I thought that was very strange. Any Kieran Juniors yet? Yeah, no, not that I'm aware of. Although you never know. Yeah, maybe it was the matchmaking. But no, I distinctly remember, because I got on a mounted machine gun and was just on a tear. And I'm like, these people, I must be playing against blind people. And then I realized, oh, hang on, I'm in a lobby with like 100% bots. But then I got absolutely destroyed, and then I realized, oh, hang on a minute, a human has joined, in which case I rage quit. Hello, Xbox fourth. I'm assuming that's for the win. I didn't think I would ever see you on here either, brother, but here we are. I would like, if we're talking about Assassin's Creed remasters, I would like an Assassin's Creed remaster of the one in like industrial England. What was that one called? Not Rebellion. Oh, I like that one. Syndicate. That's it. I played that one kind of like well after it came out and kind of rushed myself through it, but I really liked it. And I would love to go back and play the DLCs, but obviously it's like too far gone at this point. Jared, current gaming setup is, well, it depends what I'm playing. If I'm playing console, I'm playing Xbox. If I'm not playing Xbox, I'm playing PlayStation. And I've got the Samsung television to do that. And then I've got my big surround sound speakers. But if I'm playing the PC, I'm on, I don't know the specs of the PC. It lights up funny colors, which I can control, which is fun. And if I'm playing that, I've got the 32-inch curved gigabyte monitor, which I very much enjoy. I use it for work too. Try using a 32-inch monitor for work, doing a fucking spreadsheet. My eyeballs, no wonder why I need glasses, I tell you. But some games, I would prefer the other way around. Some PC games I'd love on the big screen. Arguably, most console games I'd love on a small screen. So sometimes I'll bring the Xbox in here and vice versa. Like particularly like any kind of RPG game, it's hard for me to play on a big screen. I like to play it on like a small screen. Do you plan on making videos regularly again or sticking to one every 7 years? Well, smart ass. Maybe one every 8 years. We'll see how we go. But no, I would like to get into it more. If anything, just an avenue to just talk. You know, there's no pretense, nothing has to come from it. I prefer this kind of avenue, question and answer. I dig that. I don't like live streaming in the sense of like, okay, come and see Kieran's live stream. He's playing Rainbow Six. That's shit. No, I don't enjoy that kind of thing. Maybe I could do videos. I think the market has passed me by. I think there's no real market anymore for the long form thing. I think it is coming back around. Hopefully, maybe we can catch it. But yeah. Thoughts on Red Dead 2? See, I could see that. And I don't blame that. I mean, that's a good opinion. I got up to, and I hope I'm not spoiling anything here for anyone. I got up to what I thought was the ending, realized it wasn't the ending, and then couldn't be bothered. So I never really actually completed Red Dead Redemption 2, but I did in my mind. And it's at that point now where I was so far along and it's so long ago that to boot it back up to complete those extra kind of 4, 5, 6 hours, no. So in my mind, I completed it, but that, yeah. And that's what I think, you know, maybe the new Grand Theft Auto is going to be, because there were so many role-playing elements in Red Dead that hopefully they continue and refine in the new Grand Theft Auto. Which would be nice, which will be interesting, considering you play as, I think, what, 2 different characters? A man and a woman? Thoughts on the Game Awards as a presentation, pseudo E3? Now, that is a good question. And I think maybe that's why I'm not as excited about video games as much anymore, because there is no dedicated day or event or week or weekend where it's like, this is gaming. Like the Game Awards, they do the best that they can. I mean, the last one was pretty shit in terms of reveals. But like E3, say what you will about E3, even if it's not a physical event, there was just something sexy about. There was a week or a couple of days a year where, whether it was a physical event or a digital event, that all the moneymakers, all the playmakers got involved and went, you know, we're launching da 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 da. Then Sony, we're doing blah 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 blah. And then around that, you had all the different press agencies like IGN, GameSpot, Kotaku, all doing their thing with all their own stuff. So it was like a good ground zero, for lack of a better term, of gaming for the next 18 months. Whether or not, you know, it was physical or digital, didn't matter. It was just that, like, that time. And now that doesn't exist. And I think to the industry's detriment, because now if you want to find stuff, it's all scattered. Like if you almost have to seek stuff out. Whereas like with the E3 thing, it's like, okay, this is our mecca. This is our week. Let's just watch. And I think, you know, the demise of that is very sad. Because it didn't have to be interconnecting. You know, it just had to be like in that same time period where everyone could pay attention. And, you know, like I'm like, even though being in Australia and having to stay awake till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, it was like a party, you know, to have people over, sink piss and, you know, eat chips and shit. It was good. But now it's like, it's too scattered. But yeah, it's definitely missed. Definitely missed. Yeah, 5 to 7 years to make. I mean, look, you're not wrong, Aldenator. You're not wrong. Maybe it had to die because there's no way that anyone could fill an hour and a half, 2 hours with, you know, shit that's coming. But it was just, it was a good hub. But then so much stuff at E3 got announced it never was shit. It was, you know, vaporware anyway. Agent is a good example. But then, but when you watched, I mean, even when you watched E3, you knew certain shit was, you know, years away anyway. So they would show something. It's like, oh, you know, no release date or coming 2-3 years from now. But then it made it worth it because every now and then, and Fallout 4 did this, where it was like, and it's coming this year, or and it's on Xbox tonight. You know, it's like stuff like that. I feel like we don't get that anymore. There needs to be, I think, that industry-wide event, whether physical or digital. I don't give a fuck. But, you know, I feel like it's sorely missed. And whether it's E3 or not, I don't care. But yeah. I think a big part of that is gaming journalism itself being much less popular in terms of company or brand being. Well, yeah, no, that's a good point. I feel like a lot of people look at, well, and have looked at game journalism, and this is, I think, it's been true since the dawn of game journalism, as a confirmation bias. I have purchased blank for the PlayStation 5. Do they think it's good? They do think it's good? Great. This is my favorite article ever. Do they think it's shit? Oh, they're wrong. Fuck you. I think that's always been the crux of video game journalism. And plus, none of these people are fucking journalists, by the way. Favorite videos I've made over the years. Oh, fuck. I don't know. I don't watch my own stuff, unfortunately. Anything that got a good conversation going, whether it be in the comments or a video later or a potential live stream or something, that would be my favorite. Something that where people challenged me on my thoughts or opinions. Those are always my favorite. I like those kind of things. But in terms of to make, some of them where I was just like a teenager with way too much testosterone, just looking for a fight or just like arguing shit just for the sake of it. Those were good ones. You know, I like those. Being a dick. Haven't seen me since the Skyrim days. What are you doing? See, my response to Hutch, I don't even know what the fuck that is. But I bet it was contrarian, and I bet I was being a dick. Well, see, alternator, you're not wrong. And that's the... I think that's the industry thinking that the market wants massive AAA games that cost $200 million to make and take 10 years. And maybe we do. I feel like sometimes as a hardcore gamer, the massive minority. Oh, Cooper, my good friend. I haven't seen you in a while. I think last time I saw you were in Miranda. I have to go for a schooner again one day. But yeah, I think just that it's kind of catch-22 with technology. The better technology comes, the harder it becomes to take advantage of that technology. I feel like all these games that come out now could fucking play on an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4. I struggle to see anything this generation that's like, you know, when you picked up like Uncharted 2 or what's another example? Maybe God of War. All these are Sony games, by the way. Or it's like, this could not happen on anything but this machine. I don't think that has not been reflective in this generation at all. See, I find games blurry as well, funnily enough. But I've just gone back to the optometrist, so hopefully that'll fix it. And that's a good point, Wardo, as well. Like Red Dead Redemption, like how many like third-party games now take advantage, like look the best, and they run on everything. But the gameplay hasn't improved either. Like there's not like, oh yeah, we couldn't have swung an axe this way on the Xbox 360. Maybe, you know, picking children's pockets for Fortnite credits, that's definitely improved, but I'm not sure what else. Or making people purchase bloody season passes, which I think we're all guilty of. Yeah, I would say that's true. So much things have to launch as a live service. Because I suppose that's how they make their money back. Like if you bought, you know, Activision for $80-something billion and you're giving away Call of Duty for free if you're on Game Pass, then how do you make that money back? But I don't understand who's buying the shit. Like, don't get me wrong, if there's a mad camo or a mad skin for my character that I can unlock in the game, like I was just playing Vampire Masquerade 2, right? And in that game, it's a first-person game, but you can unlock outfits for your character. Doesn't make a shit of difference because it's a first-party game. It's a first-person game, right? But it's in the game. You can unlock them. Fuck it. Let's go unlock them. I'm not going to pay for it. Why the fuck would I pay for a skin that someone else can see that I can't? I've never understood that. And then you've got Fortnite that has every license under the sun. It's kind of like, and then like so many young people play Fortnite. I'm like, I hate to be again old man yells at cloud, but it's like, this is not gaming. I feel like it's if you're a big reader, right? You love to read, and your favorite books are Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand and John Steinbeck. I feel like for you, it'd be the equivalent of like letting the kids read Playboy magazine. It's like, this is not the art form. But what do? You can't say no more Fortnite. You were playing Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, and then after that, you're playing Bioshock, in which case, if you finish that, you're playing Mario. Like, maybe we're the minority now, which is bullshit, and that makes me sad. I feel like there are too many remakes in games, but the problem is that the remakes are always really good. I've struggled to find a bad remake. Really think about it. Like all the Resident Evils, great. That's probably an example I got. Oh, Adam, my good friend iPod Mail. Have you posted anything? Don't tell me about damn time. Let me have a look. With these 258,000 subscribers, must be nice. How have you been, my friend? Are you still in Sydney? I have to go for a drink one day. But yeah, so many actual remakes that they sell. I struggle to find an issue with them. There are a lot of remakes that like are shit, but none that get like mad publicity, if that makes sense. But then you could argue that most of the games anyway are glorified remakes. There's no new, there's nothing new anymore. But then, same to my point about kids playing Fortnite, are remakes and remasters not good because they give them the opportunity to play previous games? I think maybe we're just living in an era where remakes and remasters are quite new and weird because they're remaking and remastering a game that came out 4 to 5 years ago. But to some people, that's a lifetime. See, there you go. There's some food for thought. And we all play them. We all whinge about remakes and remasters, but fucking hell, like if Fallout 3, apparently it's going to come out at the end of the new Fallout TV show series. If Fallout 3 remasters come out tomorrow, we're all lining up, aren't we? Let's be honest. And is that a statement on what else there is to play or how good these games were? Because there's some shit games that get remasters for whatever bloody reason. Oh, iPod Mail, so you go and say that. Now I feel bad. Aren't we all working on the corporate world? Can't speak for the baby and I can't speak for the testicular cancer, but if there's anything I can do, you let me know. See, I would line up Fallout 3 as well. Yeah, I agree with remasters of games at like 4 or 5. Like I saw a remaster. Was it for Just Cause 4? The fuck does that need a remaster for? I do like the Halo remake. I like a proper one with because the Halo thing where you can hit is it the back button and it goes back to what it originally looks like, and then it goes back to the new one. That's pretty cool. I like that kind of stuff. And then the remake of fucking Red Dead Redemption, I still don't get for free, even though I played the original on the 360. Bastards. Do you reckon the Halo remake is the most unnecessary thing? Didn't they remake the entire series? See, I'm not a Halo fan, so I don't know. I think that was the only time I've played through the Halo 1 and 2 completely. 3 and that I know I've played. And Halo 1 is bullshit. The amount of fucking places I didn't know where the hell I was going in fucking Halo 1. That was ridiculous. But then when you see all these remasters, then it gets you thinking, you're like, oh, fuck, I really wish they would remake X, Y, and Z. Like Deus Ex, give me that remastered day one. Batman. Fallout. They gave us Mass Effect, didn't complete it. That's my fault. I apologize. But there's so many other games, it's like, oh, fuck, why can't they just remake this? Can you imagine how good a remake of Deus Ex would be? Or Hitman Blood Money? I reckon Hitman Blood Money. That would probably... Hitman Blood Money would probably be my top 10 video games of all time. That's a big call. But if they... And they did kind of remake it because they put it in the fucking Xbox collection thing. But what is a remake? Is it just a better looking game, or is it the old game running on the new game's engine? Because, like, could you imagine playing Hitman Blood Money on the Hitman? It wouldn't work. See if I can get him to come up. So this is Witcher. Speaking of Witcher, The Witcher 2. I know I mentioned this earlier, but if you've not played it, that needs a remake. Like, that is a great game. I'd rate The Witcher 2 probably over The Witcher 3. And Witcher 1. I don't think... Has anyone played Witcher 1? I haven't played Witcher 1 because it was PC exclusive. But Witcher 2, for those who haven't played it, I won't spoil it, but when you had to make a decision, and I've not seen this in a video game then or since, it was like, do you want to side with, for example, do you want to side with a 1 or 2, A or B? And it literally gave you like 3 seconds. It would count down on the bottom of the screen, like a loading, like a reverse loading bar. You didn't have time to like, well, I'll Google and see if it, like, no, you had to pick like this. And I don't understand why that didn't make it to The Witcher 3. But yeah, that alone was just ingenious. Have I found any new genres you never thought I'd play? Example, been weaved out the past 2 years and love. See, I hate JRPGs and always have. And the moment I discovered that Pokemon is a turn-based JRPG, my world collapsed in on itself. Genre. I think, I don't know, what the hell, XCOM style games? What would you class that as? Not turn-based, because I love turn-based. Oh no, it is turn-based. But when I say turn-based, I'm thinking like Civilization turn-based. So whatever XCOM is, because I've played through the Halo one, the Gears of War one, Rogue Trader. So whatever that is, I would rate. It has got a genre, and I cannot remember what the hell it's called. Witcher 2 is a masterpiece, Luke. I agree, and no one played it. And I somehow got a review copy many years ago and played the shit through it. My dog, so that's Witcher. He's a border collie. I think he's 5, and he's very anxious. I think he's a homosexual, and maybe autistic. That's my dog. But I wouldn't change him for the world. Thoughts on wrestling in 2026? Oh, good question. I've always been a wrestling fan. Well, I loved watching the John Cena retirement thing, even though I think they fucked it up massively. I'd love to go back, but now that they don't run small shows anymore, probably can't afford to do it. I'll watch the main ones, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, that kind of stuff. That's about it. I don't watch any of the AEW thing. But yeah, I don't watch it. I don't watch it really anymore. I follow it, as in like I look on the websites to see what's going on, but I don't watch it outside the main kind of shows. But now it's on Netflix. It's so easy to watch. Thoughts on Gears and Halo on PlayStation? Are Microsoft moving away from their own console? Absolutely they are. And, fair play. I don't think there's such thing as exclusives anymore. I say before, unless you're Nintendo, you're the only person really that holds exclusives. I can't see Microsoft ever having an exclusive on the Xbox. I can't see PlayStation ever having an exclusive just on the PlayStation. Maybe besides Uncharted or The Last of Us. The rest of it, obviously on PC. Granted, maybe years later, but I'm not surprised. Did I ever play Shenmue? No, but I bought when they came out, it was a couple of years ago with the dual pack 1 and 2, and then I never got into it. I wish I could have. But no, I think it maybe just hit me at the wrong time, at the wrong moment. Never got into it. But no, you're definitely right. Even from like maybe the 20 minutes, half an hour I played, Yakuza, 100%. What other sports am I into? I love basketball, soccer. Cricket. I love cricket. See, I'm missing the Big Bash to do this little live stream. Soccer, I watch. But yeah, mostly basketball, mostly cricket. Rugby league, I also like to watch. NBA basketball, I don't really like to watch anymore. I used to. Most American sports I don't really watch. When the Women's World Cup, the FIFA Women's Soccer World Cup was on in Australia, I got mad into that. It was great. Went to a couple of games. But yeah, mostly NBL basketball. Go for the Hawks, even though we can't make the fucking finals anymore, but that's all right. What do I think of how popular Yakuza has gotten in the last few years? Good question. I love it. As someone who has been pumping Yakuza since day dot, love it. Absolutely love it. I love Yakuza. It is just like so fucking stupid and amazing. I do like Yakuza. And I've been, have I not, chat back now for here, have I not been telling people to get it since probably like, Yakuza 3? And when did that come out? Like 15 years ago? So, no, it's good to see. And Kiwami or whatever it's called, really solid. Really good. Favorite game movies of the decade so far? Movies, I'm not a big movie fan, although last decade movie, fuck. My favorite game of the decade would probably be Disco Elysium. And my favorite movie of the decade, I really like The Black Phone. That's a pretty good movie. Again, I'm not a movie fan at all, but yeah, Black Phone was really good. The thing about the Yakuza series is, like, if you've not played it before, well, first of all, it's a culture shock to play it. But the problem is that I feel like you need a gap in between. Like, if you were to play Yakuza 3 and then straight back into Yakuza 4 and so forth, so on, it's very samey. So if you played it and when it came out, it's good because you play Yakuza 3 and then the next one didn't come out for fucking 3 or 4 years. Whereas now you can play it back to back to back to back to back, and you're going to get bored shitless because there's the same map, it's the same characters really up until Like a Dragon. So yeah, and then they're all getting remakes too, and the same thing, same problem. You couldn't play a Yakuza game back to back. I don't think. Because they're too massive. Like, to play it properly, and if you're paying attention to the story, in which case, like, good luck to you, because there's fucking cutscenes going on for an hour and a half, and I've got no fucking clue what's going on. But yeah, and to Wardo's point, I've heard people that go to Japan, and it's like mirror image, like, of Japan. And I love to go to Japan. I've not been to Japan. Maybe one day. I mean, it sounds so wanky, and I hate when video game reviewers do it of the Grand Theft Auto series. But, like, the world is the main character. I feel like if you play Yakuza and you turn, so say you're playing, you're having a great time, you save, and then you turn the PlayStation off, I feel like the world in Yakuza is still happening. You know what I mean? Even though the console's off, that world is still existing. Stuff is still happening. And it's so Japanese and it's so fucking weird. I don't hate the turn-based. I was saying this before. It's like when you've played Yakuza 3, 4, 5, Kiwami, I don't think it got turn-based till Like a Dragon. I could be wrong on that. But if, like, the combat is so simple and so repetitive and so often that it's a breath of fresh air to be something different. So to be turn-based, no problem. Normally I would have a problem. Like, if you made, like, Call of Duty or Gears of War turn-based, I'm like, this is bullshit. But for Yakuza, it works, I think, for that, because otherwise it's so repetitive. Yes, it is Like a Dragon in Japan, because I had to import Yakuza 3 and 4 because they never sold it in Australia. And that's how I found out. But now it's like the most popular thing ever, and I love it. Like, I've always wanted people to play Yakuza just to feel that, like Grand Theft Auto vibe, but it's like pure stupidity. Like the side quest, like there's a side quest, I think it's in Yakuza 3 or 4, where that guy buys too many ice creams and you have to use the DualSense controller to cross the street carrying the ice creams, and, like, you can't. It's like, it's so weird that I think it has to be on everyone's list at some point. It is too weird not to play. And then when you play one, you think, oh, it's not going to get weirder than this. And then, but also the side, like, I think particularly in Yakuza 3 and 4, the side activities are so in depth. Like, the golf mini game is like that could be a standalone golf game. It's just insane. Love Yakuza. The saving, though, back in the day was dog shit. And there was no auto save. You had to save like going to a phone booth. That was dreadful. Luckily, that has since changed. But yeah, looking forward to any and all Yakuza games that come since. I finished the Like a Pirate. That was hilarious. And what's good about them is that they're mostly always on sale or they're on Game Pass. So you have no excuse. Maybe unless you're on PlayStation, but. All right, my friends, I think I might give this another 20 minutes and then we've completed 4 hours, which is a pretty long one. So yeah, if anyone's got some dying questions or anything they want to add, speak now or ever hold your peace. With that, I'll go get another drink and then I shall return and see how we go. Ooh. No, I didn't study Japanese at all. I just read it off a website, and I think he did the same thing. I would like to be able to speak, a different language, probably Japanese more than anything, but no, definitely not. I would just type in what I wanted to say and it would tell me how to say it. And that's what I tried to do. And it was just a comedy of errors because he would try and speak to me in English. And I'm like, I don't understand a goddamn thing you're saying. Because I presume a lot of it is context and the way that you speak. And English would just be a disaster to try and learn. No, I haven't purchased any of the anniversary collection of Yakuza. All of it that I've replayed. So I played all the originals on the PlayStation back when they were exclusive. And any of the other ones I've played, I've just done off Game Pass because Game Pass has so many of the Yakuzas. Well, it did. I don't think I ever beat them on Xbox, but I definitely beat them on PlayStation when I first got to play them. Do you miss the days of Oz Game Shop? In any random retailer competing with JVEB? Absolutely. I miss it at Oz Game Shop. That was a labour of love, that. But unfortunately, the market, the dollar being what it is, that's died in the ass. I personally purchase everything pretty much through JB Hi-Fi. Sometimes Big W. Never purchased anything from Epic Games, obviously, but yeah, I think that's come and gone, unfortunately. Those were the good old days. Am I sad Machinima is dead? No, not overly. Never really affected me. My Machinima days were pretty depressing. I think maybe it's depressing that it doesn't give content creators a good avenue or a good payday, but other than that, no. I'm not too bothered. I think it just got too big for its own good. It tried to do too many things at once. Machinima Sports, Machinima Call of Duty, Machinima this, Machinima... What was the best year for gaming? I would say either 2007, 2008, or 2009. There was one year where it was Call of Duty, Bioshock, Mass Effect, Fallout, Gears of War. I can't remember what that year. I think it was 2008. Grand Theft Auto, whatever that year was that's the best year. I think hands down. And there was more. There's a video, and it's amazing. There was like a perfect game every couple of days, and that lightning in a bottle. See, 2008, Grand Theft Auto 4, amazing. World of War, amazing. Gears of War 2, amazing. Right there in 1 year. And they probably all came out when Gears of War, I think. Sorry, not Gears of War. Grand Theft Auto, I think, earlier in the year. I think also Saints Row 2 came out in 2008. But yeah, right there. Oh, Grand Theft Auto 4, while I think people look back with rose-colored glasses, Grand Theft Auto 4, I think, is the best Grand Theft Auto 4 game. Oh, sorry, Grand Theft Auto game. Like, the story, the world. Like, Grand Theft Auto 5 was great, but fuck, like, I didn't rate the story at all, particularly the ending. The ending, not to spoil it, but the choice at the ending made zero sense. The characters were spread a little bit too thinly, and Trevor being, insane, I think kind of made up for it. But yeah, I think Grand Theft Auto 4, if we could get a remake of that would be fucking incredible. With the music, please. The radio in Grand Theft Auto 4 unrivaled. Like, some of the gameplay in number 4 was questionable. Like the combat in Grand Theft Auto has always been shit, let's be honest. And the driving was a bit poor. But no, I think bang for your buck, Grand Theft Auto 4 was the best. And like the online mode, which apparently they just added just for the fun, just for the lols, was perfect. Like the free roam in Grand Theft Auto 4 was incredible. And still going. All right, my friends, I think we might end it there. Thank you very much for everyone that has come along and asked a question or left a comment. Oh, hang on, sorry. How many old games have had their multiplayer shut down? Unfortunately, too many. But no, thank you all very much. If you don't see me again, my apologies, but hopefully I'm sure you will. Thank you very much. I don't know what else to say. It's always depressing leaving a video. But no, thank you all so much, and all your comments and questions and concerns. Much appreciated. So I will see you. If I don't see you tomorrow, I will see you the day after. Thank you very much. Au revoir.